Good evening, fall, ladies and gentlemen. Yo, what's going on, Vince? Look, man, I want to first start off by saying, for those that tune in, thank you guys for tuning in on this Sunday. And for you guys to devote some of your time over to this little boxing channel here, man. Um, for those that were watching yesterday's fights on ESPN, Top Rank hosted an amazing. Well, I thought it was a really good card. I was really impressed with Saul Sanchez versus Jason Maloney. I was extremely impressed with Billy and the grit and the heart of his opponent, right? I was really impressed with the Australian. And, of course, Artur Beterbiev, man. Nothing can really... That dude is scary good. Scary good. Dude's fantastic. It's a monster, man. And he proves it time and time and again. It doesn't matter his age. He's got great IQ, great punch selection, and he knows at any given moment he doesn't really have to load up on his punches. He's just in a proper flow state, and he's touching you, and then boom, sneaks in a hand there. He masks his power extremely well. Bivol's gonna have some problems, man. Dimitri Bivol is going to have problems, okay? Because if you were to take Canelo out of the equation in Bivol's resume, it looks pretty suspect, right? Bivol's resume. There's no Alexander Volsdik. There's no Marcus Brown. Artur Beterbiev is destroying these guys. And there is an art, there is a beauty, and a person and a fighter who seeks and destroys. Everybody loves knockout artists, right? You don't have to be, if you're a knockout artist, if you harness that power, that brute force, the ability to hurt people, and do it with calm and ease like Triple G does, like Artur Beterbiev does, right? Both-handed fighters. You don't have to be slick. You don't have to do tactical retreats. It's just a simple step back, a high guard, and just let your hands go, right? Punch with your opponent, touch here, uppercut here. And the way Artur does it, he does it very stiff, but it's just flowing, right? It's just flowing. He's just going through the motions. And then occasionally he adds a little more boom. And then here's another shot. And then here's another shot. And he's just breaking you apart. Impressive stuff, man. Impressive stuff. And he does it with ease. As for Callum Smith, that's why I couldn't bet money on this guy. That's why I couldn't really vouch for him, because Callum Smith doesn't use his height, use his God-given genetics, and he doesn't utilize it properly, right? He's a dumb fighter. He doesn't have great IQ. He doesn't set traps. He doesn't really feint. He doesn't really posture. When he fought Canelo, he doesn't even really have dog in him. Yeah, he's a very basic fighter, right? He doesn't know distance. He's dumb. I hate to say it, man. I hate to say it, but Callum Smith is, I don't even know how he was a champion at 168, let alone a unified one. Because there's fighters like Callum Johnson, when he dropped Artur Beterbiev and had him hurt. Like, sometimes you just have to have grit. You have to meet fire with fire. And I don't know what Buddy McGirt was training all camp, all year long for this particular moment, right? When I saw John Ryder and Canelo Alvarez walk down Callum Smith and Callum laid on the ropes, I'm like, what do you think Artur Beterbiev's going to do, right? It was, if you were studying his last fights, when he fights shorter fighters, it's a microcosm of what's to be expected. He was going to get into a world of hurt last night, and that's exactly what happened. If Callum Smith, he would need Terrence Bud Crawford, Bomac, Isaú Rodriguez, all those guys to train him, because I know Buddy McGirt. I've seen a couple of his fights. I like Buddy McGirt. To me, he's always known as that trainer from the show The Contender that was hosted by Sylvester Stallone and Sugar Ray Leonard. That's how I knew Buddy McGirt. So this is about like 15, 18 years ago. And since then, I haven't really seen him develop proper fighters, right? Um, Callum Smith had an opportunity to become unified last night, and even had a shot later on in the year to, become undisputed, fighting Bivol. But the reality was, he's just not a smart fighter. He doesn't have the IQ. He's just not a good fighter overall. He's not even a good boxer. He's just 6'3", and that's it. He's just a fighter who's tall. Salute to you, Vince. Good evening, fall gentlemen. Yeah, man. Hopefully, Warp Speed. Hopefully, Warp Speed hops in. I know he went to church, so I'm just kind of waiting for him to, get back home safely. Sports Archive. Salute to you, my guy. He goes, thoughts on the playoffs. I mean, Houston, Texas. The Houston Texans, man. They are, and CJ Stroud, D'Amico Ryans, they are scary, bro. I mean, that's all I can say. I mean, I knew the Chiefs were going to beat the Dolphins, mainly because the Dolphins have all their best players on the defensive side injured, right? Vic Fangio, the ex-defensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers, about from 2010 to 2014, alongside Jim Harbaugh, right? Vic Fangio he's got amazing players on that Miami Dolphins. Unfortunately, like the saying goes, the best ability is availability. And when you have Jalen Phillips, when you have Bradley Chubb, Xavier Howard, and all those safeties injured, you really don't stand a chance against Patrick Mahomes. Let alone if you're only going to score 7 points. You're not going to beat them like that. You need to be healthy. We saw that when Patrick Mahomes lost against the Super Bowl to the Buccaneers a couple years back in 2021 season. He didn't have his two offensive linemen, and Patrick Mahomes was making miracle throws, falling and throwing baseball, Derek Jeter, aerial throws and hitting Tyree Hill in the face mask and Travis Kelce. And sometimes that gets you out of sync and out of rhythm. When Vic Fangio doesn't have his best players on the field, and guys like your Pro Bowlers like Christian Wilkins and Jalen Ramsey are getting pass interference calls or dropping interceptions or unnecessary roughness calls and hitting and chopping the QB low and giving them second life to have momentum during a drive and then eventually score touchdowns, you just can't do that. So everything went wrong, but the game could have been close. But, you know, again, you got to just be available. Salute to you, Adam Hurley. Hopefully you're having a safe and blessed Sunday, brother. I actually have thought for a while that Bivol was pound for pound number one, but I would favor Beterbiev in that fight. Yeah, man. I'm going to have to favor Artur Beterbiev as well. Not to say that Bivol obviously stands a chance. He, of course, stands a chance. He's got volume. He feints with his hands. He postures. He takes step backs. He pivots. He laterals. He does everything that we wish Callum Smith should have done, right? He throws proper straight punches. He's very active, right? He's not just looking to catch and shoot. He's setting up traps. He's defensive baiting. When Artur circles around and he takes a back step and he lets your hands go, he's going to throw something over the top. Archer's setting up traps, and he's also building his offensive prowess when he presses forward. Callum Smith really, what was your game plan, bro? There was no game plan. Bivol is going to be very cerebral. He's going to use everything, right? Boxing 101 and every single footwork, hands, defensive posturing with his hand, lead hand fighting. He's going to do all that he knows to beat Beterbiev. And even then, that might not be enough. Because at the end of the day, great fighters are going to land their best punch. And that's all it takes, right? I believe Bivol will get dropped when he fights Artur. But is he going to get dropped? Like, for instance, when Callum Smith was hurt before the first knockdown, he should have taken a knee just to recollect his senses, just to breathe, just to assess the situation of what the fuck just occurred. What punch did I get hit with? You get a stand up at the 8-second, you recollect, and you're good. You don't let Artur blitz you. You don't let him drop you, and give you that concussive blow. Now, we could take a step back and we can say, easier said than done. We can also say, look, bro, the reason why he laid on the ropes there is because he was dazed and confused, right? His brain was rambling in his head, and it was, like he was concussed. So he couldn't really think properly, and that's why, you're just there and he's just going based on instinct. And Archer with his fucking heavy hammers, Logan X weapon Wolverine is just slashing and dashing your face apart. Like, of course we can look, there's many variables. I would, in a sense, love to get hit by Archer, but at the same time not, just so I can feel that power. Nah, just fucking around, guys. You don't want to feel that power. But yeah, Bivol and Archer. You look, Bob Arum said that fight isn't finalized, but after Ramadan, give Archer like 3 months. So he's talking about maybe August or July when that fight might occur. I hope it does, man. I hope it does, because it's gonna be one for the ages. It is going to be great. It is going to be great. Maybe we got ourselves a trilogy, fellas. Maybe a trilogy. And now I'm rubbing my hands with excitement because it's a great fight. Let me see. Warp Speed tunes in and he goes, "Good evening, Fall. Good even, Fall." At Vince Vargas Sports Archives and Adam Hurley. Long live and prosper. Or peace sign. He also goes, "You also, the homie Ricky." Warp Speed by Vince goes, "Champagne." Adam Hurley, "Hey Speed. I mean forenoon, not evening, Fall. It's too early." Oh, man. Before we elaborate more on Artur Beterbiev and Bivol, hopefully happening in the summer, I just kind of want to say this, man. Artur Beterbiev is a really great fighter. A lot of rabbit punches, man. A lot of rabbit punches. He dinks behind the ear, and he targets that area. And I'm not saying he's dirty, but he's definitely savvy, okay? And he definitely targets behind the ear, or you can say behind the head. He did it at least 10, 15 times last night. With that said, Callum Smith did throw a couple of low blows on Artur Beterbiev, and he was warned. Not one time was that ref warning Artur for those rabbit punches. And this is not the first fight he's been doing this. He did it against Alexander Vosdik, and he also did it against Marcus Brown. Just saying. Going back to the third fight, Saul Sanchez versus Jason Maloney. Very good fight, very entertaining fight. Jason Maloney being the champion, right? I believe this is the Maloney brother that fought Naoya Inoue, and that might have been his first loss by knockout. Saul Sanchez, being this guy from California, being trained by Manny Robles, gave a great account of himself. I thought he won the fight last night. Shame on Timothy Bradley. Shame on Timothy Bradley, because we know Timothy Bradley's a company man, and we know that he's always biased, right? And he was biased definitely on that fight, the way he was narrating that fight. And he was justifying everything Jason Maloney was doing and shitting all over Saul Sanchez, right? He goes, "Oh, look at the momentum of the fight. Just look at body. Look at temperament. Look at how the flow of the fight is going." And he was justifying all the dirty tactics that Jason Maloney needed to do, because that's how Timothy Bradley used to fight. He used to use his headbutt. He used to press forward. And even Bernardo Silva made a comment. He goes, "Man, that's a Timothy Bradley headbutt." And you have Bradley all laughing over there, all hysterical, because Jason Maloney, just like Bradley, they headbutt in their fights. Jason Maloney did not win that fight. Okay, I'll tell you guys why in a little bit. And for Jason Maloney to have this much experience, he did not look like the experienced fighter. He looked like the fighter that needed to do everything to survive. You guys understand what I'm saying? He needed to grapple. He needed to put Saul Sanchez in a headlock. He needed to, toss his head around, hitting both sides. I mean, majority of those clashes were instigated by Jason Maloney. Saul Sanchez looked like the superior fighter. He had better combinations, right? Obviously, he gassed because, as Bradley would state, "Oh, he's never been through 12 rounds before. He's never been in this championship round." But when you looked at the last 11 and 12th round, Saul Sanchez looked like the superior fighter. Jason Maloney was just trying to impose his will, and the ref kind of warned him sometimes for the headbutts, but in reality, Saul was superior. He was superior, and that little nice little sneaky uppercut that he would throw, just kind of like rock'em sock'em toys, just to kind of like Archer did to pick apart and break through the guard of Callum Smith. The only thing was Saul didn't necessarily have that concussive power. Not to discredit anything that Jason Maloney was doing, Jason was letting his hands go, and at moments he looked, really good. But I thought Saul Sanchez was the superior fighter, better hand punch placement, better sequence of combinations landed. I don't even have to address CompuBox, who had Saul Sanchez throwing like 100, 200 punches more, landing more, and had a higher percentage throughout the fight. One ref had it a draw, and the other two had it a for Jason Maloney. To another point, for those, and I know you guys know your boxing. A lot of the rounds, Saul Sanchez dominated the fight. But Jason Maloney, as crafty as he is, this is where the experience comes in. He does a great Bernard Hopkins impersonation of trying to steal the round. So if Saul Sanchez was dominating 2 minutes of it, Jason knew that he can probably make it closer by trying to steal the last minute of it. And the judges kind of just remember the last minute of it, right? Other times in other rounds, there was Jason Maloney dominating 2 minutes of a round. And then Saul Sanchez would land a good little flurry and hurt Jason Maloney. At no point did you really see Saul Sanchez really hurt in this fight the way Maloney was hurt, right? But you would say that Saul Sanchez at moments was gassed. And that comes with, that experience of being a championship fighter. Whatever the case may be, I would like for them to run it back. And if they don't, there's nothing for Saul Sanchez to keep his head down. Like, bro, you gave a good account of yourself. As of right now, 3 weeks or 2.5 weeks into 2024, that is fight of the year. It was a great fight. And I would like to see it run it back if, Jason Maloney wants to. He doesn't have to, of course. I'm pretty sure this was his mandatory defense or a voluntary defense. But yeah, man, salute to Saul Sanchez and salute to Jason Maloney. It's a very entertaining fight, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And hopefully they run it back. And Billy, that boy is dangerous. He's what James Kirkland was at 154. Just bombs away. A young little Mike Tyson. He's very entertaining to fight. He's an entertaining fighter, I should say. And he's very entertaining to watch. I'm not going to say he's going to be a problem for like Canelo Alvarez and fighters of that nature. But I would like to see like a Romer Alexis, a Carlos Adames fight Billy. And we can't get those fights. Why not a David Morrell versus Billy? That would be very entertaining. I think Billy's pretty chinny. There was rounds that the Australian, and salute to the Australian. And in fact, let me Google his name just because I don't want to. I want to give him credit because he gave a great account of himself, a valiant effort. But his name was Rohan Murdoch. I will tell you this, man. Mr. Murdoch last night, he could have won that fight. He could have won that fight. And right now, I know he's hating himself because not only did he have the chin, the grit, and the power to beat Billy, his problem was he was laying on the ropes. And by the time that he was trying to pivot and circle out and, return fire and walk down Billy, it was just too late. You don't want to give yourself false confidence. So in that round, let's say it went 7 rounds. On that 6th round, before the 7th was going to begin, he was winning like 2 minutes and 30 seconds of that round. And then the last 30 seconds, and Billy wailed on him. And I'm glad that trainer realized it was like, look, bro, even though you did good and you don't want me to stop this fight, this gave ourselves like a realization that, we don't want to like sustain permanent brain damage because that round was not representative of what you've been doing the whole round. So let's not give you a false confidence and an approach that, we can tough this out because no, man, you're rattled right now. And yeah, man, but Mr. Murdoch did a great job, man. He could have won that fucking fight. And I know he did because In the opening round, when he was snapping and Billy's head back with a jab or a two, and Billy didn't take those punches well. And Billy loves to load up. He torques left and right, pivots all his power and might that he can to deliver that concussive blows. He's very fast. He's very creative. But yeah, man, the future looks really good, and it's gonna be hurt business whoever fights and Billy. But hopefully, it's like a Romer Alexis, an Edgar Berlanga, maybe even a Diego Pacheco or a David Morrell who steps up to the plate and gives him Billy a good fight. Because yeah, man, it's gonna be very entertaining to see. I know right now, just like anybody, they want the Canelo sweepstakes, but you got to stand out from the pack. Sports Archives goes, are you watching the game tonight, the homie Ricky? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got the Cowboys beating the Packers. I don't think the game is going to be close, mainly because who does Jordan Love have that can equate to a CeeDee Lamb? There's really nobody there, right? So I believe, and who on the defensive side that the Packers have that equates to a Michael Parsons for the Dallas Cowboys? They don't really have anybody in that light. So, I mean, I think the Cowboys will probably win, I don't know, 35-10. That's kind of what I'm expecting. The receivers are pretty good. I know Jordan Love has been great to closing out the season, but I think they're a fluke. Right. This is not a situation where they have Matt LaFleur is a good coach, but I got to see it to believe it. I don't think they're a playoff team. It's just that the NFC, they're pretty weak and suspect. And the Green Bay Packers division has been horrible and mediocre all year. And for that, I'm not a believer into the Green Bay Packers. I like Jordan Love. I think in the future they'll be good. If they don't establish Aaron Jones early and they're not able to run the ball, I just don't really see how they can beat the Cowboys. And not to say that the Cowboys are that great, because all they have is Dak and CeeDee Lamb, but they make it work, right? For many years, Kurt Warner for the Arizona Cardinals had Larry Fitzgerald. But when they had that amazing run to the Super Bowl, and when they played the Pittsburgh Steelers, when James Harrison had a 99-yard interception return for a touchdown, and Santonio Holmes caught tippy toes in that corner of the end zone, they can make it work with just a quarterback and a receiver, right? Dak Prescott has a CeeDee Lamb. He does have Larry Fitzgerald. I don't see that impact from the Green Bay Packers. And then also, I know they rescheduled the Buffalo Bill games and the Steelers for tomorrow because there's like 30 feet of snow over there in Buffalo. But Buffalo should win that game tomorrow. And the Lions and the Rams, I might have, just because I have a parlay going, so I went the Lions. But I'm gonna say the Rams win it, bro. I like Matthew Stafford over the quarterback that was previously the LA Rams QB. His name is not running through my head right now. The California kid, I forgot what's his name, but he gave us the horrible Super Bowl against the Patriots. It was like 12-9 or something. But I like Matthew Stafford over the Lions QB. I also like the Rams receivers. I believe Sam Laporta is hurt. I believe the tight end from the Detroit Lions, he's hurt. I'm not too sure if he's going to play. I know that he was doubtful, but I haven't really kept up with the injury report. But yeah, I like the Rams, man. They have experience, and they're the hottest team going into the NFL playoffs alongside the Baltimore Ravens, right? The Rams look nasty, and if Aaron Donald, if he can continue looking like the MVP in playoff season and not get double or triple teamed, he's going to cause havoc. Unfortunately, I got to say the Rams are going to beat the Lions. I'll be rooting for the Lions, but I think with Kyren Williams, Puka, Cooper Kupp, Matthew Stafford, and Sean McVay, Super Bowl champions coming with that experience. They're still relatively young. Puka looking nasty. Of course, Detroit Lions have Amon St. Brown, and they have home field advantage. But Unfortunately, I gotta say, I'm gonna say the Rams, but just for the sake of this parlay that I have going, I'm crossing my fingers for the Lions. Vince Vargas goes, good game right there. Kind of rooting for the Lions as well because they never really have anything. Yeah, I agree, man. There's been years when they had Calvin Johnson, right, Barry Sanders, and Matthew Stafford, and these amazing players, historical players, and they never really amounted to anything. And I remember years back, probably in 2008 or 2010, um, they had this Clint Eastwood commercial, right? They had this Clint Eastwood commercial. Let me actually try to find it. I'm having internet problems with my computer. For some reason, it's not syncing in, so I can't do that little that screen sharing at the moment. And I don't think I can do this quite on my phone. But hold on, let me find that commercial. There was Clint Eastwood Ford Motors commercial. It was a Super Bowl commercial. Yeah, it's 2 minutes. Hold on, let me mic this up real quick.
It's halftime. Both teams are in their locker room discussing what they can do to win this game in the second half. It's halftime in America, too. People are out of work and they're hurting, and they're all wondering what they're going to do to make a comeback. And we're all scared because this isn't a game. The people of Detroit know a little something about this. They almost lost everything. But we all pull together. Now Motor City is fighting again. I've seen a lot of tough eras, a lot of downturns in my life, times when we didn't understand each other. It seems that we've lost our heart at times. The fog of division, discord, and blame made it hard to see what lies ahead. But after those trials, we all rallied around what was right and acted as one. Because that's what we do. We find a way through tough times. If we can't find a way, then we'll make one. All that matters now is what's ahead. How do we come from behind? How do we come together? And how do we win? Detroit's showing us it can be done. And what's true about them is true about all of us. This country can't be knocked out with one punch. We get right back up again, and when we do, the world's going to hear the roar of our engines. Yeah, it's halftime, America. And our second half's about to begin.
Woo. I don't know. Hopefully, you guys were able to hear that. Wait, no video on our end. Yes, sir. Yeah, no video right now. I'm not too sure how to screen share with my iPhone. Usually, I use the computer, but I'll try to. Let me see if it's working right now. But yeah, guys, it's a Clint Eastwood Chrysler commercial. This was played during the halftime show, and yeah. If I'm a Detroit Lions fan, I know about that video. I'm watching that video, and I'm getting my popcorn ready for later on. But let me see if I can sync my internet so I can put this back up so you guys can see it. But yeah, it's an incredible commercial, and probably one of my favorite ones I've ever seen during the halftime show. But let's see. Vince goes, good game right there. Okay, I read that. Gonna be a heartbreaker for the home fans if they lose. And no video on our end. Yeah, it'll definitely be a heartbreaker for the Detroit Lions. It kind of be bittersweet too because it'll be their ex-quarterback Matthew Stafford sending them home as well. So give me a sec. Let's see if I can sync this up. And I'll replay that commercial so you can see the beautiful cinematography and the narration from one of the best cowboy men to hit the actor studio. Give me a sec, guys. Who do you guys have winning? I'll just pose a quick question real quick. You guys got Bivol or Beterbiev? Shit. Let's see. Let's go. Vince goes, yeah, that Stafford Goff matchup, playing their ex teams. Yeah, man, that's all right. 2-step unification. Hopefully this is drop off, but give me a second, guys. All right, just give me mic check real quick. Just press like the number 1 if you guys can hear me. I just transferred over. Hopefully it's working well. Let's see. What did I type? Clint Eastwood commercial. There we go. All right, Vince says the sound is good. Alrighty, brother. Let me show you guys this commercial. Go present. Share screen. We're here. Alrighty.
It's halftime. Both teams are in their locker room discussing what they can do to win this game in the second half. It's halftime in America, too. People are out of work and they're hurting. And they're all wondering what they're going to do to make a comeback. And we're all scared because this isn't a game. The people of Detroit know a little something about this. They almost lost everything. But we all pulled together. Now Motor City is fighting again. I've seen a lot of tough eras, a lot of downturns in my life, and times when we didn't understand each other. It seems that we've lost our heart at times. The fog of division, discord, and blame made it hard to see what lies ahead. But after those trials, we all rallied around what was right and acted as one. Because that's what we do. We find a way through tough times, and if we can't find a way, then we'll make one. All that matters now is what's ahead. How do we come from behind? How do we come together? And how do we win? Detroit's showing us it can be done. And what's true about them is true about all of us. This country can't be knocked out with one punch. We get right back up again, and when we do, the world's going to hear the roar of our engines. Yeah, it's halftime, America. And our second half's about to begin.
Yeah. Man, if that's not bone chilling to give you goosebumps, yeah, bro. Bro. Yeah, man. Let's go, Detroit. Detroit should beat the Rams, man. Man, fuck the Rams. Look, man. I don't know if there's any LA people here, bro, but listen. I hate the Rams with a passion, okay? It's not so much what they did because we could have beat them, but I could have won $5,500, man. That year that Debo Samuel was popping off, my favorite player from the Niners, our safety, number 3, Jaquaski Tart. I might have said this story before, but he dropped an interception when the Niners had the lead. Okay. Now, I'm not saying if he makes that interception, we go and score a touchdown and we win this game. But that's basically what I'm saying. Not only did we have the lead, we also had the momentum. And Jaquaski Tart gives the Rams a second opportunity. Right? There was like 8 minutes left on the clock. Had Jaquaski Tart completed that catch for an interception, we're getting at least minimum of a field goal. He doesn't do that. The Lions march down the field, score the leading touchdown. I think the score is like 20-17. Jimmy Garoppolo has like about a minute and 25 seconds or even less with like a timeout or so to march down the field and get us in field goal range. None of that happens. They go for it on 4th down. It doesn't convert. I lose money. The bet was basically in the earlier of the year that the Niners would go to the NFC Championship. I still have that receipt in hand, screenshotted. And yeah, I fucking hate the Rams with a passion. Nothing about their fans because, LA Rams, they ain't really got fans. They're more LA Raiders, more Raider fans than there are in LA for the Rams. But yeah, fellas, I hate the Rams. So I'm going for the Lions. I will never root for the fucking Rams. So whatever I said earlier that the Rams would beat the Lions, nah, bro, I'm tripping. I just had to remember myself about that. That's crazy that I even said that. Give me a second. What happened here? I don't know. Hopefully you guys, I'm not having internet issues. Because that always kind of happens. Yes, sir. Clint Eastwood, bro. Yeah, that was a great video. I don't know. Yeah, I would recommend you to watch it every year. When we come down to crunch time, in the middle of the year, and you're like, oh man, I gotta do this, watch that video. There's another video that always gets me pumped up alongside with Clint Eastwood's narration. There's that E3 PlayStation, hold on, Ray Lewis, yeah, Ray Lewis E3 commercial. Check this out, bro. Check this shit out. Man, what do you guys know about this?
EA Sports. It's in the game. I've always been told that I'm too small. I'm not big enough. I'm not fast enough. I don't have what it takes. I prepare so no one can take what is mine. No one can replace my mind, my heart. To be the best and stay there, sweat is necessary. I'm older. Of course I'm older. That's the beauty of it. 16 years plus. Different level of wisdom, different level of understanding, different level of punishment. I want to live long after my records have fallen, long after my rings have tarnished. And whatever you got to do to make sure you chase your legacy every second of your life, will you be remembered? How would you be remembered? Why wouldn't you fight for the greatest achievement ever? Leave your mark to endure forever.
You guys can't tell me that's not a great video. Man, dude. They don't make them like that no more, man. They don't make look, I don't know what the fuck has gone, but everybody would tune in halftime, not just for the halftime performance show, right? But everybody would tune in for the commercials. They used to have competitions. Maybe they still do, but you can create your own commercial and submit it, and you would win an award for who had the best Super Bowl halftime commercial, right? The commercials now, garbage. The commercials then were fantastic. Um, I'm not trying to say like, oh, everything in the past was greater than now. I'm not trying to say that, but there are times and moments that was the apex, and it's been downhill from then, right? And we got to get back to making good product, great product, right? Same thing with the sport of the NFL football. From a defensive standpoint, one of the things that we revere the athletes of past year was it was much more difficult, right, for rookie quarterbacks to succeed in the NFL, right? There was never a CJ Stroud when there was actually, or were they allowed defense to actually play hard nosed fought defense. A CJ Stroud could not exist in the past years because he was gonna get lit up by some defense, James Harrison, a Haloti Nada, Terrell Suggs, Alden Smith. Someone was gonna light him up. If he threw the ball, someone was still gonna hit him kind of late. CJ Stroud could not exist 10 years ago because he would feel those hits. He would tremble in fear that fucking Alden Smith is rounding that corner, right? That Aaron Donald is coming in. Nowadays, the best players in college, they immediately are playing mediocre college players in the NFL, right? And Tom Brady has said this. And you guys have heard him talk about it. Yo, what's going on, Drew? Vince Vargas goes, what do I type for that video you showed with Clint Eastwood? Yes, sir. All you got to do is type Clint Eastwood, Chrysler, or Ford Motors commercial. And that's all. And it'll pop up right there. And Drew says, hi. Hi, sir. Nah, man, what's going on? Hold on. Are you guys going to hop on? What's up, man? Yeah, what's going on, brother? I'm chilling, bro. I'm chilling. You know, just shooting the shit. Hopefully you and Warp Speed tune in. In fact, the reason why you guys haven't tuned in is because I didn't actually send you guys the link. So that's my fault, man. Yo, Drew, 123. Have you had a chance to watch Artur Beterbiev and Callum Smith last night? Hold on, brother. Let me send you and Warp Speed the invite. Let's see. Go here. Excuse me. He said, yup. What are your thoughts, man? Well, actually, save your thoughts. Don't type it. I'm gonna send you guys the invite. Hopefully, you guys can get it, and then we'll go from there. I'm not too sure if you're still tuned in, Warp Speed, but I sent you and Drew the uh, the link. And Mr. Vince, brother, I made you a moderator. Let me see. How do I? What does this star mean? This star means I don't even know what this star means, but wait. I clicked here. Go to channel, pin message, report, remove, put user in timeout, add as moderator. I did that, bro. All right, so there's managing moderator and a standard moderator. Managing moderator means you can manage blocked words and change chat modes in live. Also capabilities of standard moderator, which is what can review and remove chat messages and hide or put users in timeout. All right, let's do that one. Alrighty, Vince. I thought I did this last year, brother, but I put you as a moderator. There you go. Wrenched you up, man. Hit the motherfuckers with that wrench. Wha-chang! So when that boy, shit, I forgot his name, but he's a cool guy. Man, what a commercial. Makes you want to run through a brick wall. Chrysler. Yes, sir. I agree, man. That was, they don't make commercials like that anymore. And, yeah, what a time to be alive, for sure. That was 12, 13 years ago, that commercial. Let me see. Yo, Drew, my check real quick. Is you on, brother?
Mic check. You hear me?
What's going on, bro?
What's up, man? How was the fight, or what'd you do over the weekend, man? What'd you do
Whoa,
yesterday?
whoa. First, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing great, man. I was watching the fights yesterday, mixed in with some football. I was like, hell yeah! I watched that last night. Kansas City Chiefs game. And then once that was over, it was perfect because when it ended, boom, main event. So I was like, yeah, this is a good night. I was watching the highlights of the Christian Billy. I didn't get to watch that, but definitely watched the Beterbiev fight. And he did his thing, dude. He's that dude, man. I mean, I was with my cousin, and he's a super casual. He actually he's a hardcore UFC fan. So this guy's mentality is just different. The way he's explaining things, and I'm like, dude, what the hell? But he gets, it's similar as far as like, he asking like stuff like, oh, what's the pay-per-view numbers and all this. He goes, oh, that's good. I was like, okay, so they know, these UFC fans know about UFC numbers, or pay-per-view numbers. I mean, but because a million pay-per-views is a million pay-per-views. But yeah, no, it's this fight, bro. It was good, man. Um, what's it called? He was actually saying that this dude was he was asking me, he was, oh, is this guy a Muslim? Or and I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm not too sure. And he goes, it looks like it because of his body. His body looks like he's on a strict regiment. And I'm like, I don't like he's like, yeah, he looks similar to Khabib. And I'm like, yeah, I know, like without the looks and all that, he's definitely looking like built like Khabib kind of. Um, but yeah, dude, he's like, yeah, this guy's stiff. He doesn't have no defense, all this. And I'm like, dude, like, he can't, he's like, he can't box, man. And I'm like, dude, watch, he's gonna turn it up. Round three, I think, turns it up. And I'm like, see, he was just filling him out. Like, this dude can box. And his punch output is just immaculate, bro. Like, I'm like, damn, this guy's just nonstop throwing, and he's got a chin too. I mean, he was getting hit with a couple shots from Colin Smith, but man, Colin Smith was just getting broken down little by little, and it was just headshots. Like Canelo put on a different type of pressure. He was just hitting him where he can hit him, and it was good enough. And he fought him at 168 as well, so he was a little like skinnier. He didn't have that much power on him either. So I like Colin Smith though. The way he looked, I was like, I like this Colin Smith. He was just up against the number one guy in the division, and I liked what I seen though. Like round one and two, he was kind of messing up, or he didn't do anything. Like it was really Arthur Beterbiev's pressure when the fight started. But after that, he was maintaining, and then boom, he just turned it up. But nonetheless, like it was a great fight. Colin Smith deserves to be uh in the elites. I think he's still a problem, in that division. Um See, I'm not too sure familiar with who's on what side of the street, so I don't know like potential matchups, but what's it called? Yeah, he's still a problem. And with Beterbiev, um he's man, I was like, I was looking at the reports before this fight, and they were like saying that the contract got signed and all this, and I'm like, man, like we're like even TBV was doing this whole thing, but they reaffirmed that it's not like either that it's not like from a reliable source. So I'm like, it was kind of 50-50 still, but Bob Arum confirmed it at the end. It was funny because I was telling my cousin, like, because I just told him that, hey man, Beterbiev wins this fight, the fight's already signed. And he goes, no, it's not. And I'm just trying to prove this guy wrong because he's such a freaking UFC minded, and he's like, oh that hurt, oh that hurt. I'm like, dude, like this is boxing, bro. Like you never know. Like he's so UFC mentality, and he's like, yeah, I doubt it. And I'm like, dude, you don't know shit, dude. And then Bob Arum, they interviewed Bob Arum, and then Bob Arum was like, nope, it's not signed yet. And he's like, I told you. I'm like, dude, like, I don't give a fuck, bro. Like, you don't know shit, dude. Like, we're arguing, dude, like, about shit, and I'm like, dude, this guy doesn't know shit. But yeah, he proved me wrong right there. But um, yeah, I was like, fuck, man. That sucks. I want that fight. I didn't like what I heard. Um, and I'm not too sure what's going on with the with Russia and all that BS. So hopefully it can happen, man. That's still on my list. Um,
Well, let's
but
actually
yeah,
focus on that part what you were saying of
well,
whether the fight is signed or not. Hold on, share screen, hop on this.
but
Artur
yeah,
Beterbiev and it's
That was funny because I thought my cousin was full of shit. And I'm like, dude,
yeah,
shut
I know
up,
he's full of
man.
shit, dude.
and then Bob Arum, they asked him that question specifically. I'm like, oh shit. And he's like, no, it's not signed yet. And I'm like, oh fuck. So he gave it to me. He's like,
Mhm.
aha. But man, that sucks. Yeah, but go ahead, play it. I was like, oh shit, he's Muslim. So yeah, I was like, damn, that's gonna affect the date of the fight because Ramadan and all that BS. But yeah,
Yeah,
man.
but even Bob Arum right there, he just stated that give him 3 months after Ramadan, so like July,
Mhm,
and then they'll have it in the Riyadh season. So which is pretty good, man, because it looks like they already have more or less a working schedule and
mhm.
they have a plan to
Yeah,
make that fight, you
good.
know? So those are two thumbs up on both ends. Like, yeah, okay, they've been talking. Obviously, Eddie Hearn is a Callum Smith fighter. So I know that you alluded to, like, I'm not too sure which fighters are across the street. That's not going to be a problem. The only problem that there might be is if Mauricio Suleiman comes out with some BS and he goes, well, the WBC belt is not going to be on the line because, our affiliations with Ukraine and, all this,
Mhm,
Russia thing and Bivol. Like, I don't know, bro.
mhm.
But
But
aside
I don't
from
know.
that, Undisputed should be on the line if these two dudes fight. And it's going
Yeah.
to be really amazing, man. So
Mhm,
it looks like we more or less have a time range. Definitely not signed because between now and let's say July, right? 3 months after April,
mhm,
that's a long time from now. A lot of things can happen. A
mhm.
fighter can get injured, Beterbiev can get injured, but it looks more or less like that fight's going to happen. And when it does, bro, who do you have winning?
So considering the last two fights, their last fights, Bivol just didn't look as like I wanted him to. I thought he should have gotten that dude out. I think he was moving up or something like that from a division below. So I was kind of like, damn, like this dude couldn't put him away. There's so many times where he should have just put him away, and I'm like, dude, like where's that urgency at, man? Like you just fight to win these fights, man. You and he just hopes the punch is gonna hurt him instead of trying to hurt him. He just landing to score points and hopes, for that KO. But Beterbiev, what I seen right here, I'm like, dude, he was getting outboxed in a sense where it was where like Colin Smith was actually landing some flush shit and kind of messing up his balance a little bit, not like where he was hurt but like had to reset his footing type of thing. But he
Never.
like in a sense, bro, like I was drunk,
Never.
but huh?
Never.
Beater beef?
That did not happen.
No.
No.
Oh well, he was landing flush shit, wasn't he? Like he was
Nah.
landing, but Colin Smith wasn't landing anything flush,
Nothing good, bro.
but it was flush.
Nah,
I mean,
I
it's
mean,
either
I think
flush
there
or
was
it's
a
not
body
flush.
shot. I think there
Which one
was
was
one
it?
body shot that kind of hurt Artur. Like he circled out, but nothing, bro. Nothing.
But I think it was Arthur Beterbieve's punch resistance. I think Colin Smith was winning like the first round. The second round was his best round. Like he was like kind of outboxing him, bro. I think Beterbiev, and see my cousin kept talking to me, bro. So it was tough, man. Like
Yeah.
I kept looking away. So I like his he's such a UFC minded dude. Like he was like, oh, and I'm trying to watch. I couldn't really listen to the commentary, but I was watching it and it looked like Colin Smith was landing some flush shit. And Beterbiev, like he's so stiff, he kind of like has to like reset his footing because he's going around the corner. But I mean, Beterbiev was once he started landing letting his hands go in the third round. I was like, damn, like this dude's definitely beats fucking Bivol, bro. Like he just like I don't know about how the outcome goes, but I think Peter be fucking would see Styles too. I'm thinking of the outcome right now. I'm like, I don't see.
Who wins the
Bivol.
fight, Drew? Who wins the fight? Or
Damn, son.
who you think wins the fight? Who you going for, bro?
Well, Beterbiev. Like my gut says Beterbiev
Yeah.
now. So I'm trying to think of the outcome. That's why, and that's what's tearing me apart because the styles and shit.
All right,
And
so
yeah,
all right, so you think Beterbiev wins, but who do you want to win?
Bivol. I want Bivol to
Why?
win, just solely because of Canelo, bro. I want him to fight Canelo again. I want that get back. You know, like I don't know what it is. I think something tells me I feel some kind of unfairness. You know, I know it's his choice not to fight Canelo anymore, but I just feel like Canelo. Um, I just feel like Canelo like deserved his get back solely because Bivol's talking and saying, "Oh, I can move down to 168," and then doesn't fight him at 168. He's like, "Nah, nah." I'm like, "Why'd you even say anything then?" You know, like, so I don't know. I want that 160, 175 get back. I don't want 168 get back because I want whatever they fought at. You know, and the Bivol disagreed on that. You know, so. That would put more pressure to fight Canelo, you know, because that fight will always be there. You know, I think solely because he beat him. So um, I think yeah, I think if he wins, it'll help out his chances of a rematch with him. You know, I know Bivol don't want that because he's like kind of being stubborn. You know, it's not that he's scared. I think he's just you know like he doesn't care about clout. You know, he's just like, man, I got your belt already, man. Just leave me alone, type of thing. You know. And Canelo's just like, nah, dude. Like, just do it again, bitch. you know, like not too many dudes have beat me in my professional career. Uh, it'll be more money. You know, so yeah, dude. That's my train of thought. You know. What
Got
about
you,
you?
got you. Okay, check this out, bro. I said this earlier, maybe like an hour ago. I think Bivol is a little overrated.
Mm.
Okay, if you were to take Canelo out of his resume,
Hmm.
who does Bivol have that you're like, that's a great win?
I
Not
mean,
a good win, not a good win. I'm talking about a great win.
yeah, 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 man.
Because
No,
see, Beterbiev, he's got a couple of names. He's got this
hmm
guy on screen, Alexander Vosdik. He has Anthony Yard, right? At least he fought a unified champion, even though he was at a 168 and Callum Smith, but knocked him out, knocking all these guys out, right? He's got Anthony Yard, Marcus Brown, Alexander Vosdik. And who does Dimitri Bivol have if you were to take Canelo Alvarez out?
Dimitri Bivol. If you don't have Canelo there,
Yeah, like who does he
uh,
have? Lennon Castillo, Joe Smith Jr.,
Jean Pascal.
Gene Pascal. Exactly. I think Beterbiev also has fought him. I could be
Yeah,
wrong,
did he?
but you know what I'm saying? Like, who does he have that you're like, man, that's a great
No one,
win,
bro.
bro?
Yeah, you're
You know what I
right.
mean?
No one. Yeah, I mean, you saying he did you say overrated? You said overrated, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, overrated.
overrated resume. I know
Yeah, no.
his skills are legit.
Yeah,
I'm
okay,
saying
okay.
his resume is pretty fucking whack.
Yeah, it's pretty whack, but he got the gold star. You know, he beat the guy. He beat the pound for pound king. You know, he got literally you playing like Mario, you collecting all the coins. It don't matter about the coins when you got the star, you know?
Yeah.
Um that's
So remember, Bivol only has 22 fights, right?
yeah.
And Artur Beterbiev, 20 fights, 20 knockouts. Bivol, 22 fights, no losses, no draws, 11 KOs, right? So if you were to take Saul Alvarez out, he has, I'm going to give you some names: Lyndon Arthur, Umar Salamov, Craig Richards, Gilbert Rivera, Joe Smith Jr., Jean Pascal, Isaac Chilemba, Sullivan Barrera, right?
Hmm. Well,
Then you
Sullivan's good.
Trent Broadhurst,
Hmm.
Cedric Agnew.
Those are all
And
top guys though. Like,
you have Gilberto Ramirez. I know, but he doesn't have. Where's his version of Alexander Vosdik?
well, I think
Where's
they don't
his,
have that. They don't
where's his
really.
Marcus Brown? Like he
But
don't
one
have that.
170. But I know what you're saying. But 175 don't have that many names as it is.
Right. Joe Smith Jr., right? Joe Smith Jr., he's a solid dude. I
Yeah.
like Joe Smith.
Yeah.
But he's only known, okay? He's only known for knocking out of the ring Bernard Hopkins. That's
Mhm.
what Joe Smith Jr. is. And Joe Smith, he's pretty good, bro. You know,
He
he's
got
also
some
Paul
wins.
Sullivan de Barrera. He's, you know, he
Yeah.
also threw like a right hand and bust Dimitri Bivol, where Dimitri kind of wobbled to his corner at the end of, like, I forgot what round, maybe the ninth. You know, he has beat, you know, Jesse Hart, the same guy Sudo fought way back when at 168. You know, he's beating a pretty lighter Alvarez. He knocked him out. This is Joe Smith. So Joe Smith would be Bivol's more credible opponent, right?
Mhm.
But Artur Beterbiev knocked him out in 2-3 rounds, where he
Damn.
went the distance with Bivol. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So when we talk about being impressive, and a lot of like people like to put Dimitri Bivol on the pound for pound list, but how? How can you put Bivol on the pound for pound list? The only way you put Bivol on the pound for pound list is because, oh, he beat Canelo, pound for pound fighter.
Right.
So by that notion,
Right.
since he beat the #1 pound for pound, that makes him, we have to include him on the list.
Hmm. Yeah.
No,
No. No.
no,
Yeah.
you
You're right.
don't.
Because
Because if
yeah.
Bivol, we'll check this out. Sergey Kovalev, and we go watch that fight. In fact, let me find it real quick. If we go watch that fight, Sergey Kovalev was also beating Canelo Alvarez. Now, he was throwing this Peter Pan jab, but at least he was managing space and distance and controlling the fight with said jab. And so, you know, Canelo landed a left hook, and then that kind of dazed Kovalev, and boom, he threw that right hand and just slept him. But let me see. Sergey Kovalev.
Well, why is G Herbo on your search history?
I don't know. It's
Hey,
because
Cat Williams. You watched that Cat Williams interview too? I see.
oh, dude, shit, boy, you
uh,
gotta watch that shit. That shit's good.
I know, that's hilarious.
Followed
Anyways,
by a younger man in the ring. He is 29 years of age. Sergey.
All right, hold on, give me a second. Let me read some of these comments. It says right here, crazy how Canelo just needed a single opening after he rocked him with the left, jumped on the opportunity immediately, elite type of reaction. Let me see. All right, hold on. Let me see if I remember this fight correctly, bro.
And now a little more steam on that jab from Kovalev. Good jab there by Canelo. He's backing up the big jab, but the attitude of Canelo, at least in the first round and a half, is that I'm going to land a big shot. I don't know if I'm necessarily looking to pile up points. Kovalev is the one to me early on piles up points. Good combination by Canelo. Again, body and then head. Throwing that winning right hand. He's taking his time. But you feel that Canelo must have in his mind somewhere that I can bust this guy up. It sure looks that way. He's coming up short right now. He's trying to close the distance, but Kovalev showing a lot of discipline. This is a game plan. Just touch him.
So if we really look at this, if I remember correctly, yeah. So I'm gonna take back what I said
okay.
because
You're wrong.
yeah, for sure. Because if we look at everything, Kovalev is throwing, but he's not really penetrating Canelo's guard.
Mhm.
You know, and obviously it took a while for Canelo to really land all of his like concussive blows. But obviously, you know, he was still throwing hard punches early in the rounds, second round and stuff, and walking Kovalev down. Let me just keep watching just a little more. A nice left hook to the chest. Boom, nice counter slip, pull back, uppercut. So yeah, so there's two ways to look at this fight, but in reality, it was pretty much dominated by Canelo and like not majorly, right? Kovalev did well, but if I remember the context, bro, Kovalev had been inactive for like a couple of years, no? Or was this fight on late notice?
I'm not too sure. I think he did have like a fight that same year, but
I think
like
you might be right, bro. I think you
yeah,
might be right.
I think he had I don't know, like a tune-up type of fight. Like it wasn't a big name. I think it was like maybe like another like European guy.
Yeah, I think you
But
might be right. I think he did have a fight but he took this fight on short notice or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember but yeah, man. All I knew when I watched this fight, two things. When I watched it live,
I never watched that fight.
Canelo looked a little chubby. When I watched it live, he looked like I was like 175 ain't your weight class.
Yeah.
Bro. You know, I can see like a little bit of fat on your side. You don't look trimmed down. Like if you were to compare when he was at 160, right? To be honest with you, I don't even like Canelo being at 168.
Yeah,
You know?
me neither, bro.
I feel like he's still too small for 168. At 160, I felt that was when Canelo was at his best. Even though he accomplished and knocked out all those dudes that he knocked out at 168, 160, his body looked his best, you know?
And not only that, but it performed the best too, because he just had the right amount of muscle on him, the right, like, and well proportioned, like upper and lower body. So it was,
Actually, you're right, Drew. Kovalev
Yeah.
had 2 fights that year prior to fighting Canelo. He fought in February 2nd against Eleider Alvarez, and he got his get back. And he
I remember that one.
unanimous decision. And then 6 months
So
after,
awful
on
loss.
August 24th, he knocked out Anthony Yard. And then less than 2 months, he took the fight with Canelo Alvarez, and he fought Canelo early November after he just had a fight on late August. So
That's crazy.
basically Kovalev didn't have any really time to relax.
And he came off a loss.
They have no R&R. He couldn't really rehydrate. He was probably back in camp because, bro, he's not gonna miss out on a Canelo payday. But the crazy thing, if I remember correctly, it was like an open like percentage, right? Like it was like he was guaranteed zero money.
Yeah.
Do you remember some shit like that, or am I tripping?
Nah, I know.
Who remembers all the particulars in the comments? Do you guys remember exactly the whole context? I remember there was some shady business going on. But anyway, man,
He didn't
I
call
don't really
though.
like Canelo being at 175 or at 168.
Me neither.
But tying it back to Bivol, I can't just put Bivol based on what he's done just by beating Canelo Alvarez. I'm not saying that's not an easy fight, but or you know, I'm not trying to discredit Bivol, but it's like this. It's as if Bud Crawford went to middleweight, right? Completely skipped 154, and he went to middleweight and he fought Zani Bek Alam Kanalai. And you can be like, why would he fight Zani Bek? Because Zani Bek is unified at 160. Let's just say, or Zani Bek might have 3 belts. I don't even know.
I think he has like 2.
Okay, let's say he has 2. Let's say Terrence Bud Crawford went to middleweight and he fought Zani Bek. And let's say Zani Bek beats Crawford, right? Let's say Zani Bek knocks Crawford out. Just because he knocked out the number 1 or number 2 or 1B or 1A pound for pound fighter in Terrence Crawford, does that automatically make Zani Bek a pound for pound fighter? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
You know why? Because the definition of pound for pound is literally conquering divisions, and literally like you have, the more divisions you conquer, the more up in the list you are, regardless of of all the accolades that you have in one division. Like that's why they put Bam in there. Bam was starting to creep in there because he's in his second division. And he there's another step for him to take in order to climb up that list, and that's moving up another division. But he doesn't climb that division if he just stays there. That's why Canelo is has so much cushion in his pound for pound rankings. And I know there's Inoue and Crawford, but after that it's really just them 3, and then there's a cushion. I feel like, and I feel like it's because of the number of divisions that he's conquered. But I think he doesn't perform. You're right. He doesn't perform like the best. You can train all this, this much, and weigh at 168, but you're carrying 168 around, and that's, and I always felt like he should have stayed at 160 and just dominated, because he was I couldn't even compare him to another fighter really. Like Marvin Hagler, I think was a beast bro at 160.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Marvin Hagler. There was Tommy Hearns, Sugar Ray. Even
I think
the past year there was fucking Tito Trinidad, probably
all those guys.
All those guys.
All those guys.
Great division.
And they all stayed around. They all stayed around each other and fought each other. And Canelo just up and up and up. you know, and that's like, dude, there's still guys right there for you.
I agree. And all remember, and after he fought Triple G and got 3 of those belts or 2 of those belts, he fought Danny Jacobs to get the IBF belt. And nomás le faltaba the last belt from Demetrius Andrade, and he would have knocked out Andrade, bro.
Oh
And
yeah,
I was like, come on, bro. Like, I
yeah,
know you want to become undisputed, but motherfucker, you had it right there in your bag.
yeah.
On middleweight, bro. And middleweight was much more important at 168.
I
But
just liked what I
let me
seen
put
at
it to you like
160.
this. This is why I had a little problem with Triple G as well. Triple G, look, he's
Why?
an amazing fighter. He's an amazing fighter.
He stayed. Why him?
But he stayed only at 160. And I don't know if Abel Sanchez was his mouthpiece
Mm.
or he was, talk to Triple G. He's like, hey, what if we go down to 154 to 168? But he never did that. So I don't even want to call Triple G a pound for pound fighter, because if you were to exclude, same thing with Bivol, and you take Canelo out of the equation, Triple G's resume looks like shit.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah, he beat the guys of Daniel DeGale, and you can say, well, Miguel Cotto ducked him. You could also say Sergio Maravilla ducked him, and Demetrius Andrade and Billy Joe Saunders openly ducked him. Yes, you can say that. But
It was okay
there
though
is
for them.
also an art to making fights happen and to compromise. Sometimes that compromise means you move up. Sometimes it means you move down. Also means there's an art to building and making mega fights.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't tell me Triple G didn't have the backing of a good promoter, of a great trainer, and HBO backing. Bro, everything politics was swaying towards Triple G because the motherfucker had impeccable skill.
And
Great jab, amazing chin, strong brute hands with left and right, killer smile, just a killer dude.
killer
Right?
smile.
But Canelo out of the equation, bro, Triple G becomes forgotten.
But what weight class did he start at?
He was always a middleweight.
Damn.
And even then, he couldn't knock out Canelo, who started off probably at 140, 147 when he was a kid at 15 years old fighting Miguel Vasquez twice.
Really? Is this factual?
Yeah, this is probably facts. He probably started his career at 140.
Damn.
And he moved up 147, 154, 160, 168, 175. And all these guys couldn't knock out Canelo. Like you said, that's the definition of pound for pound. So I'm not trying to shit on Triple G or Bivol or even Artur Beterbiev. But if I can put you on the pound for pound list, you got to do it in multiple divisions, whether you come down or you go up. Like, for example, how good does Dimitri Bivol or Artur Beterbiev, how good do they look fighting Mercedes Brady's at cruiserweight? How good do they look fighting Jai Opetaia?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if those two dudes can beat Jai Opetaia or Mercedes Brady's.
Even Beterbiev?
They only stay in one division. Now, to be fair, one can make the argument, guys, they don't have to move up. Let their legacy be at one weight class. I agree. But I can't put them on the pound for pound list because, like you said, you got to, your skills would have to supersede the other talented of weight class. Your skills have to be that much superior, right? But Crawford did it at 130, 140, 147, probably looking, unless he retires, probably go up to 154 and fight Tim Tszyu, maybe 160. Or hell, move up to 168 and fight Canelo, right? That's what a pound for pound fighter does. No Oya Inoue, Chocolatito Roman, Gonzalez, right? The list goes on and on and on. I can't give it to fucking Artur Beterbiev and Bivol just because they beat Canelo or they look to be the good. They're just dominating one division, and it's okay to dominate one division. It's amazing, to be undisputed is impeccable. But look at Devin Haney. He's younger than these two dudes, already became undisputed at 135, and now is a champion at 140. We're realizing his skills are really good. Same thing with Shakur. Even though I fucking hate Shakur, he's at least done it at 126, 130, and now he settled at 135. Same thing with Oscar Valdez. Boy started out, 118, 122 pounds, went to 126, now is at 130. Same thing with Tank, right? 126, 130, 135. That's the definition of. Now you look at Bivol, only one weight class. When you look at Artur, only one weight class. When you look at Triple G, only one weight class.
But I think it's also the fashion that they're winning in too. I think it kind of like it gives you like 2 points, to instead of 1 point, if you get the
No,
win.
that's actually a good point. I don't know. I'm not too sure who's in the chat, man. Vince, what do you think, bro? Do you think Bivol, Artur are pound for pound fighters? Are their skills, like as Drew states, the way that they've been winning, you got to give them 2 points. So how impressive they are, they would definitely be pound for pound fighters.
It's like it multiplies every
No, I
knockout.
get it. No, that's a really good argument. Their skills are that good, that dominating, that like you have to give them an extra point,
just like Tank,
because they are, you know.
Yeah. Were you gonna play something?
Yeah, bro. We can.
Oh, I thought you were gonna play that. My bad. No, I'll keep talking. I didn't want to talk with you.
With Bernardo Osuna, I was right behind Greg serve the commissioner as he was looking at the replay. He saw all the left hand that pushed down on Bunch. So here we are in a day and age of sports when every Monday and Tuesday morning becomes a nice national jab using feints occasionally. Great boxing.
That's Goyas, right, or something like that.
Say again.
That's Goya, right?
Yeah, that's Alexander Volstik. This dude was the fighter that put Adonis Stevenson in a coma, if I'm not mistaken, and took his WBC belt. This was 2 undefeated fighters when this fight happened, probably in 2018. And, you know, Alexander Volstik, the gentleman with the gray and black and the Venom punching gloves, he was a WBC champ. And I think at this time, Artur Beterbiev was the IBF champion. I could be wrong exactly, but this was when they unified for 2 belts, maybe 3 belts. I don't really remember. But look, man, obviously Artur is really good. We know Bivol is really good. But are they only really good at 175? How does these 2 fighters look at a heavier weight? Right?
So what's the weight class after this? 175? Is it cruiserweight or is it?
Oh, I believe it's cruiserweight. I think that's under 200.
But there's bridgerweight too, no?
Yeah, I'm not too sure what bridgerweight, you know, constitutes. Like, what weight class is that? Like 200 and 205, you know what I mean? Let me check that out, actually. Let's see.
That's another division for Beterbiev to conquer, you know?
What is bridgerweight? Well, interesting that you say that because Artur said he's got 3 to 5 years in him left after he gets the Bivol fight. If I'm not mistaken, let me actually let me see. I think I read that in boxing scene. Hold on. What is bridgerweight in boxing? Bridgerweight is a weight class in professional boxing used by the WBC since 2020 and the World Boxing Association, WBA. So the IBF and the WBO at the moment, they don't acknowledge it. The division is for boxers weighing between 200 pounds and 224 pounds. So that's fucking a heavyweight.
Yeah.
I guess heavyweight now is 224 and above.
That's Wilder right there.
Well,
but
yeah,
he sucks.
Let me see.
You had nothing to say. You're like, but yeah, no. I the first thing I think about after Beterbiev is Jai Opatai, and I'm like, dude, I know Beterbiev if he wins, depending on how devastating it looks, like how he wins against Bivol if they fight. That pressure is right there with Jai Opatai.
Yeah,
I feel like
the cruiserweight is anything under 190, ranging from 175 to 190 pounds.
Oof, that's perfect, bro. I think Beterbiev beats Jai Opatai, bro.
I mean, look, bro, this is all speculation. Like I said, I'm not trying to shit on Artur Beterbiev. I'm just posing questions, you know. Look, I like Arthur's power, kind of like Deontay Wilder. You know, they have that power at any single moment, if they're active, they can hurt somebody. You know, Artur, I respect his skills. I like his skills. He's a two-handed fighter. He's got a great jab, intelligent, you know, and that's why he's unified. Look, at one point, people weren't really asking fighters to move up in weight. At one point, people weren't really tripping off if you were undisputed. They just wanted to see the best fight the best at one point. Hell, and if you were very entertaining, they would love Manny Pacquiao versus Marquez 5 times in a row. Israel versus Rafael Marquez 6 times in a row. They weren't tripping. Baby Bull Diaz versus Marquez 2 times in a row. They just wanted to see great fucking fights. People won't be like, oh, dude, you got to unify. Oh, you got to become undisputed.
Mhm.
They weren't even tripping and asking Floyd Mayweather to become undisputed. It was just, bro, fight fucking Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah,
Fight
yeah.
Manny Pacquiao. They never asked Pacquiao to become undisputed either at any weight class or at any time in their career. They just wanted to see these two dudes that were dominating their respective years to
Hmm.
fight one another.
Yeah, because same stature, same, same height almost. So that's like, why not? Like, I think that's why we're kind of, yeah, and they're not like, crazy in weight. Like, one's not much heavier than the other. We're not talking like Canelo and Crawford. It's like, dude, we're talking about dudes that walking around the same wet mass, the same fucking
Yeah,
weight.
yes and no. What they wanted, what they more likely wanted was Pacquiao and Floyd. Their names keep popping up. Floyd's beating these guys mainly by outboxing them. Pacquiao's beating the same dudes, but knocking them out,
Hmm.
right? And every time Floyd was always a naturally bigger man than Pacquiao, right? Pacquiao started like, I don't even know, bro, 109 pounds, 108 pounds. He used to fight in the amateurs, and he used to put coins and socks into his pocket just so he can make weight at the age of 16 because he was just too light in the ass. And he was still
Hmm.
knocking out these adult men and things of that nature. Long story short, Floyd was always bigger, right? Floyd started professionally boxing, I think, at maybe 130, 135 when he was fighting Jose Luis Castillo. Pacquiao
Hmm.
was like 112 pounds.
Hmm.
And so he was always taller, bigger, and stronger, right? But Pacquiao had that pop. And Floyd had more or less fragile hands. So he had to resort to being slick, very defensive fighter, because he kept breaking his fucking hands. And again, like I was saying,
Yeah.
Pacquiao was always more or less quote unquote chasing Floyd because he was always bigger and he was knocking out these dudes. Floyd was even scared of Pacquiao. I don't care what anybody says. He was scared of Pacquiao because he was like, how the fuck does this dude knock out Miguel Cotto? Nobody knocks out Miguel Cotto.
Yeah, I know.
You remember that shit? He was like,
He's
nobody
like, what the
knocks out
fuck?
Miguel Cotto. Man, this motherfucker's juicing or something. Look
He's
at
like,
his
what the
head.
fuck? Yeah, I
People
know.
were always
Yeah.
saying shit like that.
You can't do that.
People were like, bro, I'm being scared of Pacquiao. Fight this dude.
Like, you cannot do that.
So at one point, just to bring it back, just because I, go on these tirades and tangents, and I never stay on topic.
Mhm.
Nobody really was tripping for undisputed or unifying matches. They
Yeah.
wanted to just see the best fight the best at one point, and all they really cared about was seeing great fights. When Marco Antonio Barrera was fighting Eric Morales, people won't be like, oh, they're unified or they're undisputed. No, they just wanted to see fucking barn burners. They wanted to see memories. And they're willing to fucking put, bet their houses and trucks and wives on the line. Because
That
like,
was a hard.
yeah, this guy from Sinaloa, he's gonna fuck that dude up from Culiacan or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, they
Yeah.
weren't tripping, bro. They were just fucking passionate about amazing fucking fights. And, my fucking guy was going to be your guy. Or, hey, I don't give a fuck, bro. You put your Vieja on the line. Fuck it, bro. She's
Put
on
your
the line.
vieja.
Like, bro. Like, bro,
Yeah.
these were the talks, bro. This were the talks.
Yeah.
Cantinas and shit.
You put your vieja, I put my vieja.
Bro, like, that's how it was, bro. But yeah, man.
Yeah,
And
I was gonna. Yeah, no. What? How did we get to Pacquiao? Forgot how we got to Pacquiao.
now,
Um.
we were just bringing them up because it wasn't about becoming unified or undisputed.
Mm,
Now, in
mhm.
this modern day of era, that's how we can, quote unquote, the fans have a voice to impose these fighters to fight one another as the best, fight the best. Because a belt back then didn't necessarily represent that you were the best, right?
Right.
It just meant that you were a fucking top fighter.
Hmm.
Back then, fans didn't really have a voice. We couldn't force Floyd Mayweather to give us the fights.
Yeah.
But and in this modern era, we still can't do that. But at least
We
we'll
got social
give you
media.
respect if you are an undisputed champion. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like that's the standard now. And I'm
Mhm.
all for it because at least now even the boxers want to become undisputed. They want to have all that
Mhm.
gold strapped around their chest and in their
Yeah.
arm. They want to be lineal or ring
Mhm.
magazine. They want to
Like,
hold those belts.
yeah,
And
there should
the only way
always.
you get them is by fighting the other top fighters.
Yeah.
It's a good standard and a good metric to measure who is the best, and you can,
Yeah. No, I like to know who's number one. I don't like to see two champs at the same time. It's like I like a definitive guy at number one. Everyone should have that mentality. Like, hey, I want everyone to know that I'm the best in this division. And I don't like when they're like, oh, I got a belt, I'm going up. It's like, bro, like, does it feel good to know that there is a guy in your same division that's calling himself a world champ like you? you know? And it's like that should be like an issue, bro. Like that should be like, bro, like there should be one champ. It's either Sabri at 140 I was Sabriel or Haney or the other guy or Tio, it's like, bro, like we need answers, bro, so we can have the cycle of new talent come in and claim their supremacy or claim their greatness, because there's guys waiting and that are capable of becoming world champs. It's like it causes it gives us better fights, you know. That's kind of like UFC, like they're just they get over the fighters quick, but it's like the best is always find the best, and it's always good fights. So yeah, I'm always a fan of keeping things in order, you know. I don't like to have messy belts everywhere and shit. Dudes claiming themselves as champs, So yeah, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's take a little break and let me put this commercial on right here.
You take a break?
Yeah, yeah. Like, I mean, not really, but
I got a question for you. What does this city know about luxury? Huh? What does a town that's been to hell and back know about the finer things in life? Well, I'll tell you, more than most. You see, it's the hottest fires that make the hardest steel.
What am I watching?
That hard work and conviction.
supposedly it's the Eminem commercial.
Okay.
One of us.
That's dope.
That's who we are. That's our story. Now, it's probably not the one you've been reading in papers. The one being written by folks who've never even been here, don't know what we're capable of. Because when it comes to luxury, it's as much about where it's from as who it's with. Now, we're from America, but this isn't New York City, or the Windy City, or Sin City, and we're certainly no one's Emerald City.
My arms are heavy. Mom's spaghetti. Already. I'm nervous. That's dope.
This is the Motor City, and this is what we do.
Eminem don't age.
Yeah, he looks pretty young, bro.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, bro. I'm not too sure if you were in here, but did you watch that the Clint Eastwood commercial when I was playing it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
You watched
It was.
you watched this one?
Yeah, watch it. Watch it. Let's see.
Oh, okay, for sure. Let me ask you this, man.
What?
Excuse me.
What? What? What happened?
How did
good?
you what do you think of the Houston Texans, bro? Just some football talk real quick.
Okay. Houston Texans. I think they're like the next great team. I think fuck, man. Who knows if they make the Super Bowl, bro? Like CJ Stroud is that dude. And I prefer the Niners to play a rookie fucking quarterback in the Super Bowl compared to Lamar Jackson. You know? Like I'm really rooting for the Texans to go to the Super Bowl so we can play a fucking rookie. You know? They're but at the same time, they're good, man. They're fucking good. They barely got the wide receivers back or some shit like that. Or no, they lost their starting wide receiver for the year, and these motherfuckers still winning. I'm like, damn, they're good, man. And their defense is good. They're the next great team. I feel bad for anyone in that division, bro. And Deshaun Jackson, Watson. Damn, Cleveland Browns got gypped. You know. What about you, man? What do you think?
I didn't think that they were going to blow out the Browns in that manner. That's one.
They did have two TDs for pick sixes. So
Yeah. Even that, like, I didn't think the Houston Texans defense were that great to even cause pick sixes. I know they got some good playmakers. I know
mhm.
that. I'm aware, and they got a defensive coordinator as a head coach, D'Amico Ryans, who used to be for the Niners. I
they've lost.
get that,
They've
but
lost to some bad teams.
bro, I've been impressed with them in every aspect, bro. To put CJ Stroud, look, obviously CJ Stroud can ball out, but bro, none of those receivers are number one receivers, and a lot of them are
None of
hurt,
them.
bro.
I
Like,
know.
like, he doesn't have a CD Lamb. He don't have a Debo Samuel.
That's why I
So he's
wouldn't mind
doing,
playing them.
like, he has pieces that were used as like third weapons on other
Yeah.
teams,
But
and
this motherfucker
it
is
worked,
accurate.
bro.
This motherfucker is accurate. He's goaded, bro. CJ Stroud, I'm gonna get his fucking once the prices go down on his cards, I'm gonna get his fucking like an autograph card.
They're at
Yeah.
like 10,000 if you got the Prism.
I know, but there's some that are worth like 300, 400, like the less expensive ones. Those are the ones you. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. They're expensive right now, but it's gonna go down in the summer. You gotta buy in the summer, and then that's what I did with Brock Purdy. I bought a Brock Purdy auto for $200, flipped that dude for $800 last week.
For real?
Yeah, I sold it for 900, and eBay got like $50 out of it, and then I got like $800, 800 something bucks out of it, so 600
Gotcha, bro.
profit.
Because check this out, bro. CJ Stroud, he has Devin Singletary. He was behind. He was like a utility player with the Buffalo
Bills.
Bills. He was like James White for the New England Patriots, somebody who can chuck the ball down, right?
Hmm.
That's who he was. He came from the Buffalo Bills. He beat Damian Pierce. And I think this is Damian Pierce's second or third year. But when
Hmm.
Damian Pierce was a rookie, he ran over for 1,000 yards. Devin Singletary has balled out more than him. Nico Collins, Noah Brown, and Robert Woods are his receivers because Tank, Dell, and company, they're on injured reserve. And then they have
Yeah,
Schultz, the tight end for the Cowboys. Those are just good complementary players.
yeah,
Those
they're
aren't
like
two
okay.
number ones.
Uh-uh.
CJ Stroud is scattering the ball, and just like you said, he's accurate as hell, and he's got a nice touch. He's got
Yeah, dude.
awareness. He's
And
bro.
his attitude.
So let me ask you this: is this team from the Houston Texans the Cincinnati Bengals when they went to the Super Bowl? Or is this team going to the Super Bowl, bro?
Possibly, but this is the thing. I was thinking either Cleveland Browns or the Houston Texans, who are playing each other, were gonna give the Baltimore Ravens the hardest time. And just because of their defense, and guess what? One has a better quarterback, and the one with the better quarterback won that game. And I think they can possibly do it. Um, and I feel good about it because it's like finally, this is the only threat to the Ravens, bro. And I feel like Niners, if they could make the Super Bowl, they will lose to the Niners because they got mediocre guys. You know, they got
Yeah.
mediocre guys, dude, and um, Ravens can actually expose them though. So if the Ravens expose them, I'm gonna be a little nervous in the Super Bowl. But they give him problems, dude. They give him problems. CJ Stroud, he's gonna be a problem because this is his rookie year, and they're gonna get better players. Players are gonna want to play for him, and this dude's gonna get some better talent in the next year, 2 years, whatever it is. They're gonna be a fucking they're gonna be a problem, bro. And I think he's gonna like replace like Josh Allen as that, like the next elite quarterback in the AFC. But yeah, dude, I think um surround him with all pro players, dude. This dude's gonna be goated. He's gonna be like the nemesis. Man, there's too many quarterbacks in fucking AFC. I was gonna say nemesis of Patrick Mahomes, but guess what? They have Joe Burrow. They got they got Justin Herbert. Like somebody got to lose. Somebody's not gonna be happy this year. And there can only be a couple of quarterbacks that can call their season a success by making the playoffs. But there's so many teams this year with great quarterbacks that didn't make the playoffs. Justin Herbert, I can name them more, but dude, like someone's not gonna be happy. But guess what? This dude's this dude has everything around him correct, like built right, because it's not just him, it's his defense as well. And guess what? His defense has two first overall, not first overall picks, two first round picks as cornerbacks, and they're playing at all pro level. And they got, guess what? They got Jimmy Ward from the Niners. And then guess what? They got a first round edge rusher this year as well. Anderson. That dude's a beast. And I'm
Yep,
like,
yep.
damn. So they got that defense in order. And because some of these quarterbacks are good, they just don't have, like, great defenses like Carolina Panthers. They got Bryce Young. They suck this year. Like Bryce Young looked like a flop. But guess what? They didn't have no talent, dude. Like they didn't have no talent at all. And they didn't need to suck this year because their first overall pick is now going to the Bears. They traded that. So it's like the big flop, bad mistake. Um, so yeah, no, the CJ Stroud, his attitude, dude. This dude, when how like players get interviewed and they're like trying to say everything right and they're just like they're just trying to act like they do care, but some are speaking out of like because they spoke in the mirror and they practiced, like CJ Stroud saying everything off the top, and he's like, nah, I'm tired of losing. People in Houston need to care about our team, and I just want to fill our seats up. Dude, he said, I need to fill up the seats up. Like, who thinks like that? Like we need to have a watchable football team. You know, they need to start attending. Like, he's really like he cares about like the aspect of the business and football. He's like, dude, like not only that, but I need to like fill these asses like these seats. Put asses on seats, and it like I never heard a rookie quarterback say that. Like he's just really trying to revive a whole city, and he's literally doing it, bro. I'm like, damn. Like Travis Scott was there at the game. Like he's the next dude, bro. And he was like one of the top quarterbacks. I think he was like, yeah, like one of the better like top two, top three in his high school class. So he's always been elite. He was always getting like a bunch of offers from all these teams and shit, or powerhouse teams and shit. But um, yeah, dude, this dude's truth, man, and his attitude. I like his attitude. Like he he's kind. This team is kind of low key my second favorite team right now, behind the Niners. You know, just because they're in the AFC. Like I'm kind of like rooting for them right now. What about you, man? What do
No,
you think?
no,
What do you think?
I'm gonna say this. I get everything that you're saying. I just want to point out two things. I think the second or the third week that Houston Texans played the Ravens, and CJ Stroud had a pretty good game. They lost to the Ravens like 20-9, 21-10, or something like that.
Damn.
But from what I remember that game and what I remembered all year is that they throw the ball a lot. CJ Stroud had like in multiple games, he had more than 40 pass attempts.
He's the reason why they're winning.
No, I agree. I agree. There's a lot of factors why they're winning. Each week is completely different. Sometimes they throw the ball a lot. Sometimes it's one big pass, and then they're running the ball with Devin Singletary. At other times, the defense shows up. But to your point, and I just want to point out, Jimmy Ward has been on the IR list, right? The injured reserve list for the Houston Texans for a while. With that guy Will Anderson, who they from Alabama. They also have Stingley Jr. As that the Jets picked up Sauce Gardner and the Texans went with that corner. So they got some studs on that team, bro. Yeah, and then CJ Stroud is really good. To Vince Vargas' point, he goes, Los Tejanos. Players are gonna want to play for a coach like D'Amico Ryans. Yeah, man, I agree. D'Amico Ryans being an ex-player. He knows the impact. He knows the pregame jitters. He's gonna know how to talk and address these to these modern age players because D'Amico Ryans' age is not far removed. Hopefully, the New England Patriots going with their ex first rounder and Gerard Mayo, he has that same impact with them because Bill Belichick, as we know, lost that locker room more or less and just hasn't really been able to develop, a Mac Jones or a Bill Zappi. The Mexican G goes, Travis Scott. Is that fool that teamed up with Nike?
Mhm.
Yeah, I think he teamed up with Nike, Cactus Jack, and he also teamed up with McDonald's.
Hey,
Travis
what's
Scott,
that?
also that rapper that was married or maybe now still married to Kylie Jenner.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
then he's the one that had like that incident where people got stomped on in Texas at the concert Astro
yeah.
World. So yeah, ese
Hey,
morro. The Mexican G goes, Travis Scott J's are like $200. Bro, his J's are probably like 10,000, bro. I don't even know. It's ridiculous. Um,
hey, what's that
shout
one
out to
song?
Travis Scott. I like a few of his songs, but he just copied the flow. He stole my whole fucking flow. As to Kid Cudi. I
Hey,
don't know
what's
if he
that?
stole the flow, but you know what I mean.
What's that one song? Is it Reebok or is it Nike? No, I'm
Yeah,
fucking around.
I'm not too sure.
Bro. Oh, never mind. I'll show you the meme. I thought you knew.
Who
I
you
showed
got?
you.
Who you got winning, bro? The Packers or the Dallas Cowboys?
Them boys. Them boys.
We them boys.
Yeah,
Man, fuck
nah.
the Cowboys, right?
Yeah, bro. They're so overrated, bro. Like, they win one game, then we're gonna win the Super Bowl. Dude, relax. Dak just plays mediocre teams and he looks good. Then he plays an okay team in the Miami Dolphins and they lose to them. And guess what? They lost this weekend.
We them
So,
boys.
bro,
Listen, they're gonna
dude,
go to the NFC Championship game. The
yeah,
way that the script is written,
I
right?
know, right?
They want the path of least resistance for the Cowboys.
Hmm.
After they beat the Packers, which people are like, oh, the
Hey,
Packers always beat the Cowboys. Listen, it's not gonna happen. Cowboys are gonna win, and then they're probably more than likely going to face the Eagles or the Buccaneers, and they're fucking both those teams are garbage. And the Cowboys are gonna go to the NFC, while the Niners are gonna have to either play the Rams or the Detroit Lions. Maybe. I'm not exactly too sure how the order of operation goes, but that's realistically what's going to happen. Could be wrong. Most likely the Niners will play. Yeah, I'm not too sure exactly,
mm,
but I believe the Cowboys will go to it, to the NFC Championship game. That's why they wanted the fucking. That's why they called that one play back for the 2-point conversion against the Lions, because they wanted the path of least resistance going
hmm,
to the Cowboys. They wanted them to
dude,
be the number 2 seed,
yeah,
which is some baloney, dude.
bro, it's so many mediocre teams, bro. Like, why? In the NFC, don't you see it? Or is it
No,
just
yeah,
me?
I agree. The NFC sucks, bro.
Dude, sucks. Lions, they just lost to the Bears a couple weeks ago. Bro, fucking Cowboys, they lose to like, yeah, they lost to the Miami Dolphins,
They've
but
been consistent. The only team that really fucked them up was the Niners. You know what I mean?
yeah, but the Cardinals fucked up the Eagles. Dude,
And they
like,
beat the Cowboys too. That's right.
yeah, what's going on?
Hey,
Like
but
these
to
teams
be honest
suck.
with you though, the Cardinals are a really good team.
Yeah, they are.
Once
I
they get that receiver, let's say I'm not too sure what round they, what pick they get, but if they
yeah.
land on Marvin Harrison Jr. with
Oh,
Kyler Murray and
oh no.
little James Conner,
Now they're gonna get the Patriots are gonna get him. They have the third overall pick.
oh, okay,
So yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I'll show. Maybe you should put up a mock draft. Put up a mock draft. But
Let me see, mock draft 2024.
mhm.
I know
So
we're
the
supposed to be talking boxing, guys. For those that come in late, but we kind of been talking boxing for like the past hour and a half. Right now, it's football talks. This is
football.
Bleacher Report.
Yeah, any of them. It's really like a consensus already. Like everyone knows that dude's going to.
All right,
That
so
dude's
we got
gonna.
Caleb Williams, mock draft, round 1. Ooh, bro, look at that sexy ass trophy, bro.
Mhm.
The Lombardi Trophy.
Hey,
Can
when we won the Super Bowl,
the 49ers win it, bro? Can we are like, all right, let me ask you a question before we get to this mock draft. Are the Niners going to go to the Super Bowl? And 2, are they gonna win this shit, bro?
hey, yes, and guess what? I can order the rings. So let me know if you want a ring when we win that shit. We can get a replica, a real fucking ring.
Bro, do you know how poor I am, bro?
Dude, do you know how much they actually are? They're only like 100, $200.
Oh, a replica?
Yes.
Okay, okay, that's cool. I thought it was like
Yeah.
10,000. I'm like,
No,
bro,
no, no,
I
no.
need to put
Nothing.
that in the El Camino, dog. All right,
Nah.
look at that beauty, bro. Look at that
Yup.
beauty.
Yup. Yup.
I got a question.
Beautiful.
I went to Dallas, Texas. I don't remember when. like late October, early November, something amongst that.
Yup.
And I went to the Dallas Cowboys game when they played the New England Patriots.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
And they did not have the Super Bowl trophies in their fucking stadium. Like we went to the Giants game, right? Baseball. You know how we were gonna take pictures of the World Series trophies right there?
Yeah.
Do the San Francisco Stadium at Levi Stadium, do they have the fucking trophies there?
So the Niners, you can actually, they have a museum that's attached to the stadium. So that's where, like,
How come we've never been to it then?
because you need to be a season ticket member. We could have got in. Like you need to go before the game. They close at a certain time.
Man,
So,
bro, yeah, we need to go to that, bro. Because like,
Yeah.
I went to one of the reasons I wanted to go to the Dallas Cowboy Stadium was because when in Rome, you do as the Romans do. But also, I wanted to see the trophies, and I wanted to see the stadium. And
Guess what?
And I talked to the reps, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, no, you actually, we can drive you there. We take a little train, and they take you to Frisco, Texas. I think that's where they said it was at.
Oh,
and then
okay.
there's like a little museum thing. And I was like, wait, you guys built this crazy ass facility, and you guys don't have the trophies here? They're like, yeah, we don't. And I was like, man, what the fuck is this? Anyway, man. So you're saying the Niners are gonna go to the Super Bowl and we're gonna win that bitch?
Depending on who we play, bro.
Depending on who? Who are you afraid of?
The Ravens.
I knew it. Yeah, I have that thing. What if it's the Buffalo Bills? You think we got them?
I think we got them in the bag, bro. I think we beat. And then the second the second team I'm afraid of is the Chiefs. I think fucking Patrick Mahomes knows our plays.
You just can't count them out, huh?
Dude, you just can't, bro. Like, why the fuck? Okay, ask me this. Why were his receivers catching the balls all of a sudden? Like, bro, make it make sense. They
I didn't
sucked all
really
year.
watch that game, but all year, that guy number 4, Rashee Rice, I have him in my fantasy. That's one of the reasons why I was able to go to the finals. He's always been really good to me, except the other two guys. The other guys
suck.
They suck. Like Marcus Van Scanlon and
Tony.
Yeah, Tony. They've all been
historically
garbage,
garbage.
Historically garbage. But I didn't watch the game really. But when I see that Rashee Rice was popping off for like 7 catches for like 100 yards and a touchdown, I was like,
yeah.
If you go look at my fantasy team, Hen and Pacheco have been solid all year. Read the list, Drew. I'll be right back, bro. I gotta go pee.
Damn, I need to go too, but go ahead.
Yeah. Do your thing. Here's the mock draft, and then just shoot your shit. And I'll be right back, brother.
Be quick. All right. Nah, yeah, we got the Bears. The Bears got that from the Panthers. That's why I was like, bro. Panthers sucked all year, and they didn't need to. They should have fucking traded for someone mid-season, but they got the Commanders. Oh yeah, the Commanders. They hired our GM, our assistant GM from the Niners. So yeah, they actually they know what they're doing now. And they're getting that dude Drake May. I don't know who the fuck that is. I know Caleb Williams, that dude though. But yeah, no, I think Caleb's good. The one that's highlighted is it's Marvin Harrison. I think that dude's a fucking beast. I think that dude's like next up. I don't know how big or whatever he is, but no, that dude's good. And then the other guys, let's see. Chargers. No, I think everything else is up in the air. I know the top 3 guys right there, pretty much Caleb Williams to the Bears. That's pretty much in the bag already. Like they're already like confirming that shit. And then Drake May. Yeah, no, that's in the bag already. Unless they trade that away, but no, that dude's good. And Marvin Harrison. That dude goes to Patriots. Fuck. But yeah, everything else, I was saying pretty much the top 3 picks are like set in stone. Like that's like, not going nowhere because Commanders, they need a quarterback. So I know they don't, they got a receiver. They're going to have Marvin Harrison, but not a good quarterback to throw, to get him to the ball. So, yeah, the top 3, everything else, I don't fucking know. Bro, I want the Niners to move up. You know who I want the Niners to move up for? Rick? Ooh. So, there's a dude from...
I'm back, brother. I'm back. Where you at on the list, brother?
I was telling them, you know who I want the Niners to draft?
All right, hold on. Before you get to the Niners, because they're going to be at the bottom of the list. So, we were talking about the Arizona Cardinals, and if they get their hands on Marvin Harrison Jr., the receiver who's 6'4" from Ohio State, the
Okay,
son of the
6'4".
legend that was Peyton Manning's favorite weapon back in the Indianapolis Colts days, right? When they were dominating, it was Reggie Wayne and Marvin Harrison. This is obviously Marvin Harrison Jr., the son of the legend. So, according to this Bleacher Report mock draft of 2024, they have Caleb Williams, the quarterback from Southern California, going to the Chicago Bears. Drew, is that going to happen, bro? What if you're the organization of the Chicago Bears, bro? Are you letting go of Justin the fucking quarterback that they have right now from Ohio State?
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? What's his name?
Justin Fields.
Yes, sorry, there you go. Sorry, guys, man. I don't know what the fuck, man. Justin Fields. Are you letting go of Justin Fields and drafting Caleb Williams?
No, dude. The first pick is already in the bag. Caleb Williams.
So Chicago Bears, they're getting Caleb Williams.
Yeah, that's like betting favorite, bro. Like he's going to the Bears, and they're trading.
So Chicago Bears are gonna let go of Justin Fields or trade him.
I don't know. They didn't say anything about that,
bro. I think that's a big ass mistake. I think Justin Fields. I'm taking Marvin Harrison Jr., a number 1 receiver, and I'm pairing him up with DJ Moore, and I'm keeping Kmet, that tight end. I'm keeping the 3-headed monster that I have with Roshan Johnson, Khalil Herbert, and the other dude, and I'm staying with Justin Fields. You cannot, bro. Justin Fields is a fucking stud, bro.
Yeah, I agree.
So good.
I agree, and I think if that happens, so Bears get Marvin Harrison, right? So Washington Commanders, they're gonna end up getting Caleb Williams.
Yup.
And then
I agree.
And then the Patriots are gonna get Drake May, and then pretty much 4 to 12 is up in the air. Like we don't know anything yet. But I know that dude is considered like one of the best like prospects like ever though, the tackle. So I mean he's a game changer too in a sense. But Marvin Harrison is generational, I'm hearing. So that dude, that's good, bro. I'd do the same, bro. Like honestly, Justin Fields, that's fire, bro. Like that's exactly what they need. But yeah, that's how that would trickle that down. But Caleb Williams, that's kind of like in the bag because that dude's fucking just good, bro. Like they think he's like the next fucking Andrew Luck, bro. Like
yeah, because you gotta look at it like this, bro. I'm not saying Caleb Williams isn't a stud.
So what if he was like what if he was Andrew Luck? What if he was Andrew Luck, just like Andrew Luck?
But check this out. Let's go to that point. If Caleb Williams is Andrew Luck, and I believe that he is on that level, what happened to Andrew Luck? The fucking Indianapolis Colts destroyed his career because they could not protect Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck was getting blitzed. He was getting sacked. He was getting injured. He had to retire hella early. And guess what the fans of Indianapolis Colts did? When Andrew Luck announced his retirement, they booed him, bro. And he was crying, and he was like, damn, bro, I gave you my heart, my soul, my life, and I retired because I'm fucking hurting in pain.
Yeah, but it came out of nowhere.
Chicago Bears, you can win with Justin Fields. For example, let's say the Bears trade Justin Fields and go a different direction and draft Caleb Williams. And let's say they trade Justin Fields to the Oakland Raiders, right? The fucking Raiders are going to be a fucking amazing team. They're going to the playoffs. That's how good Justin Fields is. You have to give – same thing when you talked about Bryce Young. Your best weapon cannot be a 35-year-old Adam Thielen from the Minnesota Vikings. You have got to give your short quarterback who's 5'9", you have to give him weapons. You gotta protect your investment. Chicago Bears, if they let go of Justin Fields to pick up Caleb Williams, you're just replacing a stud with another stud. Now, Caleb might be better than Justin Fields, but you can go to the playoffs and win with Justin Fields. Mm-hmm. You just got to give him a surrounding nucleus around him. Once you build that foundation, boom, let them take off. Throw that ball, sting that shit 35, 40 times a game.
You've seen it towards the end of the season. You know, like he was kind of,
and he only has DJ Moore.
Yeah, he was turning it up.
Now let me put it like this: if in case you are right, or I'm wrong, and let's say they Bears go with Caleb Williams. So the Washington Commanders, according to this mock draft, they're gonna pick up another quarterback, Drake May. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I've been oblivious to North Carolina. I don't really watch them hoop. Who is Drake May?
Drake May is pretty much a replica of the starter before him. Uh,
Sam Howell?
so yeah, like literally like the same type of player. But this dude just got numbers and he had a better defense. So I don't think that guy's like gonna turn out to be anything at all. But um, yeah, I haven't heard like he just has good team, bro, around him.
He reminds me of Justin Herbert out of Oregon, bro.
Yeah, no, he could be.
He looks tall. He looks to have a big arm, and he can scramble. Oh, and he's ambidextrous. He just threw that ball with his left hand.
Wow,
Look, he's running, and he threw it with his weak hand side. Look at that shit.
that's a
He's
bad pass
definitely
though.
not ambidextrous, but he can just lateral it forward.
That's a bad pass though.
He steps, he rolls out.
I feel like he can't throw like that.
A little underthrown on the play action, but as he's rolling out to his right hand side and see how he plants his foot.
I feel like you get checked, and then I fell for that. Yeah, I don't think this guy's
All right. I've seen enough. So Drake May is good. He reminds me of Justin Herbert. Doesn't have that strong of an arm, but he looks to be like 6'4" and above. So according to this mock draft, quarterback, and the New England Patriots are taking the receiver from Ohio State, Marvin Harrison Jr. All righty, bro. The Patriots have some, I don't know, would you say mediocre quarterbacks? Like, do you like Mac Jones, even though rookie year he went to the playoffs and he was a Pro Bowler?
I think they have the worst wide receiver corps in the NFL.
So they have Kendrick Bourne. They have this guy named Antonio. Actually, he was a first rounder that they drafted. But let me see.
No one's heard of him,
Cleveland Patriots depth chart.
Sounds like AJ Jenkins when we drafted him.
Yeah, let's see this. Hold on. So New England Patriots, as of right now, they have Bailey Zappi and Mac Jones as a QB. The running backs are Ezekiel Elliott, Jermichael Hastings from the Niners, and Kevin Harris. The receivers are Devontae Parker, Jalen Rieger, Demario Douglas, Tyquan Thornton, Kendrick Bourne, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Matthew Slater. Eshawn Butte, Bout, TJ Luther, and Trey Nixon. Bro, what? There's some ugly ass receivers.
Yeah, I haven't done my research, but I know receivers. I know about my receivers though. So that dude from Washington, he's a beast. Like that dude, the Chicago Bears 9th overall pick, that dude's a beast. I think he's better than that LSU receiver because that LSU is just good, always good. But that
Malik
dude,
Neighbors?
yeah, because Washington was good because they had Rome, that dude Rome, Odunze or whatever. That dude was good. I watched the national championship game. I mean, they lost, but that dude's beast, bro.
Who you like, Rome Odunze?
Yeah, that was the only weapon.
He looked like shit in that fucking national championship game, though.
You didn't even watch it.
I did watch it. I put money on Michigan. I have a parlay now.
Yeah, no, he's our only weapon though. Everyone else sucks.
Yeah,
but
let's see. All right, so they have Marvin Harrison Jr., offensive lineman, going to the Cardinals. Joe Ott from Notre Dame. Chargers was picking up a tight end, Brock Bowers from Georgia, which I don't know why you would pick. Tight ends are pretty good. Gerald Everett, another guy, something Perriman. They're pretty fucking good. I mean, Brock Bowers might be a George Kittle, but I mean, bro, you don't need another tight end when you have Quinn Johnson, a first rounder who you drafted this year. You have Mike Williams, a first rounder from Clemson, and you have Keenan Allen, a fucking top 5 wide receiver. And you mean to tell me you need another tight end? No, what you fucking need is a running back because Austin Eckler sucks, bro.
Yeah.
Giants are picking up Malik Neighbors. I have not watched a lot of LSU ball. Penn State. Atlanta Falcons are picking up Dallas Turner, edge pass rusher from Alabama. Chicago Bears have another draft pick, Rome Odunze, wide receiver from Washington. I like that. It'd be interesting. So they're saying get a QB and then bring in Odunze.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me just go down the list. Jalen Daniels, LEC QB for the Minnesota Vikings. Why would you pick up Jalen Daniels when you have Kirk Cousins? I guess for the future, I guess it makes sense. Pick him up with fucking Justin
Contract.
Jefferson and the dude Addison. All right, I'm just gonna go down the list real quick and let's go all the way to the Niners because all these teams are irrelevant.
We don't have one.
Yeah, we do, bro.
We
San
do?
Francisco 49ers.
Oh yeah, we need a
Peter
tackle.
Guyton, offensive tackle from
I'll take it.
Oklahoma.
I'll
Yeah,
take it.
because you have to start looking for your replacement for
Trent.
Williams. Yeah. So obviously these really don't matter because these are all up in the air. Anybody can, in what particular order, can go over there. It's just all about filling up your needs. If you're a Niner fan, bro, what do you think that the Niners need? Like for the future or for right now, where do you think they're lacking? You know, like
in the
we need
draft,
to start doing this.
like for the draft or free agency.
Yeah, overall, both.
Okay. So I think we need. So like who we need to get. We need to get like a better edge rusher.
A
I
better
think.
edge rusher?
Yeah, I don't think. I don't know. Like they.
What?
Yeah, I think. Just the pressure. Like I think. Not the Bosa though, but I think a better one. I think because I've seen how, Josh Allen playing the edge rusher from Jacksonville. I'm seeing that pressure. I'm seeing. I'm seeing Brian Burns. Brian Burns is about to be a free agent. I think I prefer him over Chase Young. He
Yeah.
would make us a fucking like 2019 pressure, you know? And that I haven't seen us like get that type of pressure since, since 2019. So, Brian Burns would help us do that. Nick is doing his part. I think Chase is good. It's just just a tad bit slow. Like I'm not saying he's horrible though, So he would, I would keep him. If I were to keep him, then I would try to like get like another solidified corner or like or like an a better solidified corner, like another Mooney Ward,
Would you
and
trade Nick Bosa if they were going to give you 3 first rounders?
yeah,
Do
I would
you
take
think
it.
hold on, before I go there, do you think the Niners can win without and their defense be a top defense without Nick Bosa?
Man, because I think Nick takes breaks. So when he turns it up, he's a different player, And I think playoff Nick plays at a different level. And I noticed
This
it.
year, after Nick Bosa got that fat ass money, has he lived up to his contract?
So far, no. So far, he's just there. Like he's just there, and I think I'm not sure if it's because of the length of the season, but I see that, and I'm hoping that he
Javon
turns it up.
Hargrave looks like shit too, bro.
Dude, I was about to fucking praise to the church about that, bro. Like fucking, dude, horrible player. Like, dude, he gets pushed back 9 fucking yards. And what's even pissing me off is I'm seeing all these like analysts. They're like, these Niners have been giving up a lot of yardage, and they fail to mention that Javon Kinlaw sucks. And the reason why he's playing is because Arik Armstead is out. Like we play a lot better when he's playing.
Oh
You
yeah,
know?
Armstead has been solid, bro.
Yeah.
Him and Colin Farrell have been our best all year. And to your point with Chase Young, bro, he's been garbage. I thought he was gonna be amazing, bro. I thought we were gonna have some fucking I thought we were gonna have like Terrell Suggs with Chase Young because
I know, dude.
Nick Bosa on the other end. And bro, I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. You don't even hear them in the games.
I know it's mediocre, and it's like, and I'm like, dude, like honestly, I have no problem getting Brian Burns.
You know how we have 4 receivers, Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, Debo Samuel, and Christian McCaffrey, like all 1,000 yards apiece?
Yeah.
Nick Bosa, Javon Hargrave, Eric Armstead, and Chase Young should be having 10 sacks apiece. Between 4 players, we should have 10 sacks each of them, bro.
I'm gonna
That's crazy how they don't do none of that.
Yeah, but there's a thing though. Like I'm giving him like a little bit of a break. I'm giving him that break a little bit. I see what you're saying though. It's super mediocre, bro. And he does get single teamed. Like there's only he hits one on one sometimes. And the reason why I feel like he's like even playing even more mediocre football is because Javon Kinlaw is only requiring one guy on him. And now he's getting double teamed. Now he's looking mediocre now. So I think having Ulrich Armstead in there is like a big help to everyone around him. And I see Nick, he's kind of taking breaks, bro. Like, I'm like, come on, man. Like, you're about to like get let go, like not like cut, but like we're about to find better options, to allocate our money and shit. So, um, we like Nick is good. It's just imagine if we got a Brian Burns, just Brian Burns and another dude that like imagine us getting a dude that just got 16 sacks, 17 sacks last season with the Brian Burns, you know? And then like this is the thing. Fred Warner like a huge reason why we're good. Like he's just like he means so much to us, bro. Like I don't know like if he's not playing, like we suck, bro. Like so yeah, I think he's important. I think our edge rushers are disposable, but at the right price. Like
Yeah,
Nick, we need to like. I'm not willing to let go of Chase Young and Nick Bosa unless it's for like better players. Like
yeah.
I want both of those guys to put on pressure, and I think Javon Javon Kinlaw just sucks, and we keep putting him in there. I'm like, bro, just put in Kevin Givens, bro. Like he's something. Like this dude is horrible, man. Like he gets chit blocked by everyone, and he's just like he doesn't even know where the football's at. He looks so dumb out there, bro. Like and yeah, man. Like that dude's been horrible, man. So um, once Arik Armstead goes in there, I think we're gonna start seeing that pressure again. But
Check
even
this
when they were
out.
playing, even when they were playing, like they didn't like they were just almost there, So the reason why I feel a little confident and a little rather than nervous with the Ravens is because Arik Armstead wasn't there, and we still like almost got to the quarterback, So I think those turns into sacks if he plays. So what are you gonna say?
Yeah, no. So to elaborate more on your point, Chase Young, Colin Farrell, Eric Armstead, Javon Kinlaw, Randy Gregory, Bosa, and Javon Hargrave.
Hmm. Yep.
Either they're all first rounders or 70 million plus players. And
Hmm.
Drake Jackson is on IR, right?
Horrible player
That's just
too.
your core defense. And then your
Hmm.
linebackers, you have Dre Greenlaw, Fred Warner. Then you have Travarius Ward, Jair Brown, who's been amazing.
I like him.
Tashawn Gibson, ever since we picked him up in free agency, has
Hmm.
been great.
Hmm.
Tim Lenore have been great all
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Ambry Thomas, I'm not too sure what's going on. Isaiah Oliver, man, I thought he was going to be a stud. He sucks.
Yeah.
And then I'm not even too sure when Samuel Womack the third is going to get playing time, bro.
I want him to play. I like
Yeah,
him.
but I would play Womack over Isaiah
Lenore.
Oliver. And then we picked up, unless we let him go, was Jason Barrett. No, we brought him back.
Yeah, dude, he's horrible, man. He's fucking shouldn't even ever play on the field.
Yeah, I don't even know why they put him on. But yeah, bro, look.
But I think we can always get better at corner with there's
Is
better
it
corner.
possible the reason why, going back to what we talked about with those four players not having 10 sacks respectively? Because who are you gonna double team? Chase Young for sure. You leave Nick Bosa on an island. If you double
Mhm.
team Nick Bosa, you're supposed to have Eric Armstead or Javon Hargrave, blitzing up the middle if you double team that, or you chip them. So is it because Steve Wilkes fucking sucks at his job as a defensive coordinator?
Yeah, I think he just doesn't know these guys' identity. I
But
think
he looked pretty fucking good and respectable with
yeah,
when he
but
was with Carolina Panthers, bro.
yeah, but he put in Jason Verrett thinking he was gonna do something, and that's where he messed up. Like he shows signs like that, and it's like, dude, you just know him because of his name. Like you must have thought he was still 2018, and didn't. He must have never put in did the research, and 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 was like, and didn't look at this dude's injury history. He just put him in there. He said, "Oh, I remember this guy," and that's where he fucked up. He shouldn't ever been on the field. So that's where Wilkes fucked up. And
When do you pay Brock Purdy, bro?
huh?
When do you pay Brock Purdy?
I don't know about logistics, man. After this season, I'm pretty sure like he's gonna get paid, bro. Like he has to get paid, for protection. Like,
If he wins the Super Bowl, or that doesn't even matter?
um,
Like, are you
nah,
paying him regardless going to the Super Bowl or
yeah,
not?
yeah, we pay him regardless, but they're up in the air still. It's like that would be an incentive, but I think after you put up the numbers that you did, we want more of those numbers. So he broke the record for most passing yards in a season. I think same thing happened with Jeff Garcia. We ended up re-signing him, and he stayed a little longer. So I think we keep Brock Purdy because of his. We haven't really had a dude post these type of numbers. We need to keep it. We need to keep this dude for the future. I'm not gonna call him the future, but I'm gonna call him next season starter. You know, and possibly after that, but maybe it's pending. So yeah, I think he's gonna get his money regardless. Though he's gonna get paid for those numbers, and so is fucking Ayuk. You know, and he can thank Brock Purdy for that. You know, he's gonna get paid this season, and I think no, not to like switch it up, but I think Brock Purdy, Brandon Ayuk is disposable as well. I think we should let him go. I don't think we should let go of Debo.
Ooh, oh man, I don't know
Yeah.
about that, dog.
Now I
Damn,
think
keep
I
going though, keep going.
so this is my point though. I'm not calling Debo a great receiver either, but he's got more assets on him. Like Ayuk is definitely a better route runner than him and all that, and he probably gets open better than Debo. But Debo has options. We can put him like in the flat. Like we can put him on this or whatever you call it, like on a screen pass, or like he kind of does things similar to Christian McCaffrey, and he requires two guys to tackle him sometimes, most of the time. And Brandon Ayuk is an easy tackle, and we need a dude to beat the best corners in the league. We don't. We want that dude. We want to feel comfortable going up against the best corners in the league. Like whenever he's up against um an all-pro corner, he gets shut down. Where was he against Cleveland? Where was he against the Ravens? Like he didn't do nothing against the Ravens because he was on lock against only one guy. No double coverage. He didn't require none of that. Hamilton, 1-on-1 all night, didn't give him no space. Like,
Yeah.
bro, we need a guy to get open. We need a guy. We get his caliber. We get that you're good, but you're not the best. We want the best. And uh once we got the best, guess what? Brock Purdy's gonna get him that ball. You know, we see it. We see it. And um, if it wasn't for Debo's fucking adversity, like as far as like what he can do with the ball in his hand, uh, like we're keeping him. I think obviously McCaffrey we're keeping, but Debo and McCaffrey are not disposable. They're one of a kind.
I
And
feel it, brother.
yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna say this. All right. So supposedly this guy named Hurley from Sports Illustrated, he expects the Niners to carry up to $37 million in cap room into 2024,
Mm.
plus another $46 million for unmet incentives. He says restructuring Debo Samuel, Eric Armstead, Dre Greenlaw, and Travarius Ward's contracts can possibly save another $43 million if executed before the new league
Mm.
year in mid-July, right? So that's pretty good money to play with. With that
Mm.
being said, these are the free agents going into next year, or sorry, this coming up year. Randy Gregory, I don't think the Niners re-sign him, especially if his base salary of this year is $14 million, right? Chase Young, that we just traded for, $8.6 million, right? Sam Darnold, our backup QB, $4.5 million. Javon Kinlaw, $3.8 million. Deshaun Gibson, $2.9 million.
A
I'm
lot
not
of
gonna
fat.
lie to you, those five players, we're not keeping none of them next year.
Yeah, and that's a lot of
Right?
fat to trim right there.
Absolutely. Because after Deshaun Gibson, Hufanga comes back and he's still on rookie contract, and you got
Mm-hmm.
Jair Brown.
Woo!
So you see what I'm saying? So you're rocking those two, and to Sean Gibson, you probably don't have him anymore. With that said, you have Randy Gregory, Chase Young, Javon Kinlaw. As of right now, the best player out of those guys has been Randy Gregory. When he plays on the field,
Yeah,
there's impact.
I
Chase
like him.
Young, I haven't really seen that impact yet. And of course, you can say we got a midway year. He's still learning the players. He's still more or less getting in shape because he's injured.
But that
Even
first
more reason
game,
not to really give him a fat contract. At Javon Kinlaw, bro, he's been a
Kaka, Kaka.
garbage.
Yeah,
Garbage. And
yeah.
if you go down the list,
Hmm.
Cleveland Farrell.
I don't like him. I
That
disagree.
might be a guy right there. That might be a guy that
He
you
gets
might want to pay because he's been
nah.
pretty fucking good.
I disagree right there. I think
You think
Cleveland
so?
Farrell, yeah, he gets chip blocked by running backs, and he gets handled by one guy, so he doesn't require a double team, bro. Like I don't think he's good. He's so slow. I'm like, dude, you're so slow. Like get him. I've said that multiple times when he's near the quarterback, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? He doesn't do anything. I don't know how many tackles he's gone, but
I don't know, bro. But when I see him, bro, he's been playing better than when we had D Ford.
no, fuck no.
Bro, D Ford, when he was a
Highly
Niner, he
disagree.
fucking sucked, bro.
D Ford.
When he was a Niner, he's garbage, bro.
Because he's getting injured, not because he's.
But again, the best availability, I mean, the best ability is availability. If you're
Oh
always
my
hurt,
god!
bro, if you're always
But
hurt,
his play
how
on
can
the
I say that
field,
you're good, bro?
no, dude. You gotta put the tape together, and you gotta tell me, D Ford was putting on the pressure.
I didn't
Telling
see
you,
it, bro. Listen,
I.
when we had
You're
that guy,
tripping.
Ebukam, and then Saicom,
I forgot about him.
you forgot those two, but one went to the Colts, and I think one went to like the Broncos. When they were on the field,
No, you know who I
you
liked?
didn't even
That
need
dude.
D Ford.
What happened to that other guy? That we got from Houston.
In Denihu or something like that. Ibenihu.
Omenahu. I liked him. He
Yeah,
was that.
yeah, but he got a fat ass contract for Kansas City.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah, one went to the Colts, one went to Kansas City. I said the Denver Broncos, but that was a mishap on my end. Look, man. All right, we can talk football all day, even though we're supposed to be a boxing talk. But hold on, let me close some of these tabs. Warp Speed goes. Too bad I couldn't hop on today. At least not right now. Doing the carburetor adjustment on the Wildcat and cruising to see how it runs. Vato Loco forever.
I'm gonna go to the restroom.
All right, go for it, brother. Yeah, it's all good, War Speed. I did send you the link to see if you were to hop on so we can talk some boxing. But it's all good, man. You work on your classic car, bro. That's it's probably more important, you know what I mean? Yo, Vince, if you're still here, brother. Do you think the Niners go to the playoffs? I mean, they're already in the playoffs. You think they go to the Super Bowl? And more importantly, do they win the Super Bowl? If they don't win, it's because of what? You think because the Ravens might beat us, or are we the superior team? I want to know what are you guys' thoughts on the 49ers going into the playoffs? Do you feel optimistic with the bye week? Were you impressed with them all year? What are your thoughts around the San Francisco 49ers this year? I think next year or 2 years from now, they're going to be hosting another Super Bowl as well. Obviously, I believe this year's Super Bowl is going to be hosted by Las Vegas. Just for those that are fans, not just 49er fans, but football fans. Usually when there is a new stadium, obviously to repay and make money for that city, that state, for all the money that they invested into the stadium, they usually host the Super Bowl in that new stadium. So what usually happens in around that time as well, once they create a new stadium, the NFL kind of caters to that new stadium team, and they eventually start to become good. They start not only hosting the Super Bowl, but that team starts to become really good and a playoff contender. So for in case an example, when the Niners created the Levi Stadium, right? They brought in Kyle Shanahan, they brought in some players, they started to become very good. And they went to a few Super Bowls and they lost it, whatever the case may be. Same thing with Los Angeles Rams and the LA Chargers. They created that new stadium over there. I forgot what it's called in Los Angeles. And then both of those teams went to the playoffs. The LA Rams won the Super Bowl in their home turf against the Cincinnati Bengals. Las Vegas Raiders moved to a new state, Las Vegas. Sin City created a new stadium. And I'll guarantee you either this year and this upcoming year, the Raiders will probably make the playoffs because that's
Raiders?
yeah, I believe they'll go to the playoffs, man. And if not, like for example, this year they were close to being into the playoffs, but the biggest mistake is they should have gotten rid of Josh McDaniels much sooner. Had they kept Antonio Pierce in the beginning and let him work, they would have made the playoffs. They would have easily beat out and replaced the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, there's just no way that you have three generational players: Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs, the running back, and the edge rusher Max Crosby, and you don't make the playoffs. You have three of the best players in the NFL, and you can't make the fucking playoffs. What's going on? So the Raiders will soon make the playoffs. I'm guessing 2024 will be their year. They're gonna be pretty fucking good. It just all depends at what stage do they finally come through. Yo, you got a cat, bro?
Yeah.
But what's cat's name?
Oh shit. Bandit.
Bandit?
Yeah.
Boy or girl?
It's a girl. I mean a boy.
No. So is it a boy or girl?
It's a boy.
Oh, okay, for sure. So, well, when'd you get this pussy?
It's my sister's 2 months ago. Yeah, he's pretty fat.
Oh, okay, for sure, bro. Yeah, man. I was about to say that don't look like a baby, bro. How long y'all been having that cat for?
Yeah, like 2 months. No, longer, my bad. Like 6-7 months, my bad.
So did you guys get it from like an SPCA or? 'Cause
Yeah.
that cat's big.
Yeah, no, he got fat. We feed him a lot.
Oh, okay, for sure, bro. For sure. Hey, let me ask you a question. So Ryan Garcia dug Devin Haney, and he's been, fondling with Floyd Mayweather and training with him. Probably left Derrick James and all them Texas boys because they all took L's, right? Jermel Charlo, Frank Martin pulled out at one of those Shakur Stevenson fights. Errol Spence got fucking detached retina and all these things. Anthony Joshua probably left them as well as he went with Ben Davidson. Ryan Garcia probably left Derrick James as well. Now he's training with Floyd Mayweather so he can learn that shoulder roll. So he dug Devin Haney because he wants to fight Rolly Romero. Apparently that's the better fight. And now Ryan wants to become a champion. So that kind of leaves with Devin Haney, with his hand on his balls, and he's like, "Damn, bro, I'm just pissing in the wind." Who do you think Devin fights next? Teofimo scheduled to fight Jermaine Ortiz. The only logical choice, if Devin is to pursue, legacy fights and continue to become undisputed in his second weight class, it would be Subriel Matias, who's left without a dance partner.
Yeah,
do you think Devin will fight Subriel?
hopefully. I think he's not scared, but he knows. As far as Sabril, he knows that he got a messed up hand. I'm hearing that it was like an optional thing in the like he could have had like therapy on it or something like that, or he could have just had like surgery or something like that, and would have like extended his recovery, and would have had to push back a fight date. So I think he chose to like wait it out and get surgery and do things the right way, I guess. And hopefully, like after that, he'll fight Haney. But honestly, and it's good that Haney's like a free agent. It kind of makes it a little easier to make. But with Tio's timing, like this dude didn't want to wait. Like that's a I don't know. I think he couldn't wait like 2-3 months. So I'm like, bro, and then he decided to fight, Jermaine Ortiz. So I'm like, okay, he not fighting Tio. I wanted that one. He calling him a pussy and all that. So I want to see that. I want to see that fight now. So yeah, I think Devin should. I mean, he could fight him, but I think I wouldn't be surprised if he fights like a Barboza or like another tune up or something. So I like when Devin surprises me. You know, I like it. I like when he gives us a big fight. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Matthias. If it's Matthias, um, dude's goaded. Dude's fucking going for greatness. So, um, yeah, no, I have to give him his props. I think it to me it's either you know, because Rolly or Ryan Garcia being a little cat and you know being all wishy washy and being like, oh yeah, you know, I changed my mind. I'm like, dude, like, quit announcing stuff, man. Like, you're worse than a female, bro. You know,
Yeah,
so it's kind of annoying, man. Just the way he's playing his cards. Like, he hasn't even fought. Like, he fought Oscar Duran, and he just like looking bad, bro. Like, like how you look bad after a loss, man. You're just so wishy washy. You know, like, you got to be. You know, that's why people don't talk or these fighters don't talk because things are still up in the air, and you gotta respect that and
yeah,
they're still deciding on shit. So he's just, oh no, I'm gonna do this. Oh no, I'm gonna do that. So it's like, bro, he fighting Rolly. You know, that's what's gonna happen with him. Um, just fucking, you know, Devin's probably like this motherfucker. You know, so I think you know, Devin should feel more inclined to fight Matthias. You know, um, so yeah, I want to see it. I'm not sure what the recovery date is on his hand, but if it's not that, then Arnold Barbosa. I mean, I'll take that. Better be a good card, undercard. Um, yeah, that's my thoughts. What about you?
yeah, man. I don't like Ryan Garcia, man. I really don't like him. I don't really like him at all. I don't really like how he he's not a loyal person.
Mm-mm.
That's first and foremost. He's not loyal to. He wasn't loyal to Canelo. Wasn't loyal to Eddie Reynoso.
Baby
Not loyal
mama.
to Oscar De La Hoya, and he's not even loyal to his wife that just had his newborn child. So I don't really like Ryan Garcia in any aspect of anything. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't like his skills. I don't respect his skills. I don't respect his resume. I don't respect anything about that dude. So I was really annoyed by Devin Haney to even give him the time of day.
I know. I'm like,
To
damn,
even
Devin gave him
quote
some
unquote
time.
mention my name, like oh, I'm gonna fight Devin next. Let's make that fight. Golden Boy, make this fight happen. And
Mm.
if I'm Devin, I would have been like, bro, did you not learn your lesson at 135? Like, what gave you the notion that Ryan is A, a man of his word, B, and he's gonna follow through his actions? And in what way? And so I was really annoyed that Devin even quote unquote tried to negotiate with Ryan.
I know.
And even for that matter, I hate the fact that Devin still wants to pursue Tank Davis. Like, bro, these dudes don't want to fight. They're not about fighting real dudes unless they're gonna put a lot of stipulation and roadblocks to be like, oh, he priced himself out X, Y, and Z. For that matter, I was also very annoyed with Bernard Hopkins and when he was pushing and shoving Bill Haney. I'm like Bernard, you haven't really earned your position with Golden Boy. Like, what big fighter have you brought to that stable? Where
Yeah.
is your quote unquote Brian Norman Jr.? Where is your Shakur Devin Haney to the Golden Boy stable? Bro, you brought in Blair Cobbs.
Mm.
What other
You,
big name has Bernard Hopkins brought into the stable of Golden Boy? Did you bring in Kid Austin or no? Like, who has he brought in to be, COO of Chief Operating Officer next to Golden Boy? You
yeah.
know, he hasn't brought in one big star at that stable. And you're pushing Bill Haney, who you should be like, yeah, your son is really good. Why don't you and Devin come to sign with Golden Boy? We can make big fights happen. We have Jose Ramirez, Arnold Barboza, Kid Austin. We have these fighters, Ryan Garcia. But no, dumbass Bernard Hopkins is pushing them, kicking them. Hey, come over here to the restroom. Let's turn off the
Oh,
lights in
he's kicking
30
him.
seconds right there. And it's just boom, 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 duke it out.
He kicked him.
Nah, I'm just fucking around. But
Oh,
he shoved them and he's like, hey, come over here, bro. Let's go to the restroom. Let's talk.
yeah.
Like,
No.
why don't you try to sign Devin Haney? Like
Yeah.
Eddie Hearn poached Canelo from Golden Boy. Why don't you try to get Devin Haney to your guys' roster?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I'm very annoyed. And I'm not too sure what behind conversations Golden Boy is having with Bernard Hopkins, but he'd be like, bro, you're fucking up that relationship with Devin Haney. I want him on my team, bro. Because more than likely, I'm gonna lose Ryan Garcia, and he's gonna go with Floyd Mayweather and PBC. And in the meantime, we need to fucking be friends with Devin Haney. That dude is really talented. He's got a lot of momentum. We can make a lot of big fucking fights. And guess what? He's fucking pushing this dude away, putting him in headlocks, trying to G-check him. And you have more similarities with the motherfucker since you guys both been to prison for slanging dope and robbing. And you're fucking pushing him away because he's vouching for his son. Right now, I'm pissed off. If I'm Oscar the lawyer, I'm pissed off with Bernard Hopkins. I'm like, you fucking stupid motherfucker. What the fuck are you doing?
I think at the same time though, Bill was kind of getting in his personal space. I think it's more about that.
But what? Bill is only keeping it boxing related, bro.
Yeah,
He's
but
just I'm not the best fighter in the world. My son will beat Ryan. Why does Bernard Hopkins have to be like, nah, bro, let me coddle Ryan Garcia, rocking my baby, dude? Like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, you're in, look.
I didn't see that thing. I didn't see that whole video.
All right, so let me show you it, bro. Let me
show me the video.
Let me see if I can put.
Because to me, I think because at me not watching the video, I feel like Bill kind of just got in his face and started yelling, bro. Like, come on, man, stop acting so belligerent and like act right, So I think but I didn't see the whole thing. Maybe he was enticing him, Was he?
Hold on.
Was he like kind of talking shit back?
Kind of. No. Boxing shit.
I'll just ask you real quick. Bill, real quick, give me a reaction. What's been going on? What's supposed to be Ryan and Devin, and now he wants Rolly. What's gonna happen?
I mean, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen with Ryan. We know that he raised his hand. I thought I had respect for him. Maybe he's not what they say, La Raza. Does he represent La Raza or not?
You're calling out my people? Huh? You're calling out my people?
That doesn't represent La Raza to me. So, it's going to bad for me. I'm going to talk to you bad for football. Listen, I must tell you what a bad system. You talk to me.
He's all smiling.
You get out and you talk when you mad at him. When you got respect that.
He's like, we talk here.
I like to talk in the bathroom. I'm the bathroom guy.
The bathroom guy.
Wait, hold on. I can't find the fucking shove, bro.
He wanted to deck him, but instead
he pushed him, and there was a shove. There's a video that shows all this, but
to me, he lost his composure. He's like, oh, so he decided to push him like that. That was intense. That was an intense push.
No, it was an intense push for sure. And what I'm trying to say is like,
he uses elbows and everything.
Yeah, like he goes in there pretty fucking recklessly, and this is my problem where I have with Bernard Hopkins, and I'm thinking to myself like, bro, you haven't really signed a marquee name to the Golden Boy stable. Maybe Blair Cobbs, maybe Kid Austin. I'll give you Kid Austin just for the complexion, for the protection, so to speak. I don't know. Maybe he signed with Golden Boy on their own accord. I remember they had interviewed Kid Austin and his father, and they were like, nah, we didn't want to go with PBC because they're talking about how they wanted to be kind of like independent contractors, and it was a very they didn't want to shit all over the contract that PBC displayed to Kid Austin, but they decided to go with Golden Boy and that nature. So what I'm trying to say is this, bro. B-Hop hasn't really brought any marquee name to that stable, to the Golden Boy stable. Because you got to understand B-Hop's roots in terms of being that face for Golden Boy would to be bring in African-American fighters, would be to bring in New York or Philly fighters, because that's where Bernard Hopkins is from.
Mm-hmm.
And he's never brought one. In fact, Golden Boy, Oscar, uses his California roots to bring in an Arnold Barboza, a Jose Ramirez, probably, fighters of that nature. Like, he has a good stable of 140 fighters that he's poached from, I don't know, top rank, you can say.
What about Rosado?
Rosado.
Gabe Rosado.
Oh yeah, but I'm talking about right now, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You
Oh yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
I'm talking about right now. B Hop, and there's one fighter that you can have so much connection with, and his father, and you guys can have that connection because you know you guys are street dudes. B Hop went to prison. That's where he started learning how to box. Bill Haney went to prison. Um, and I'm like, bro, bring in Devin Haney. Why the fuck are you shoving his father? You know, Bill right there was talking about respect. Man, you can't talk to me when you're angry, bro. You know, you gotta talk to me when with respect, when you're gonna give me respect. And as you saw, Bill Haney was only talking about boxing shit. He was
Mm-hmm.
talking about how Ryan Garcia, does Ryan Garcia represent La Raza? And he goes on in that video in Fight Hub, and he goes talking to all the Latinos and Mexicans, like, hey, does Ryan Garcia represent La Raza? And the people are like, nah, say, wait, he's not La Raza. Only a woman goes, but why wouldn't he be La Raza? You know? There's only one person that kind of like upheld Ryan Garcia, but all the men, they were like, nah, he don't represent La Raza. That dude's not about that culture, you know? Um, but yeah, bro, you haven't seen any of that?
No, I haven't.
Oh, man. I guess I'll leave it for another day because Warp Speed goes, no, that's a deep dive issue. I wanted to address. Let it be, homie. Let it
All
be.
right.
All right, man. So I'll leave it be. Um, you know, but
For
yeah,
sure.
no. So going back to Devin Haney and tying these things back together a little bit, I hope he fights Subriel Matias. You
Yeah, I
know,
hope so.
his trajectory and his career, in terms of A, being active, B, taking on the fights that the fans asked him to fight, because you know he didn't have to fight Lomachenko, but he needed it for credibility, and he needed it because the fans were saying that his resume was, you know, fugazi. Like, bro, you ain't fought the real dude. Like, those belts belong to Loma. And Devin was like, hey, if that's how you feel, watch, let me fucking fight him. I'm gonna give him the opportunity that he never gave me. So Devin's been always doing the right thing. And when he went up and moved and to fight Regis Prograis, you know, um, there's only left Subriel Matias because right now, like we talked about, Tio is tied down to fight Jermaine Ortiz, and Ryan Garcia and Rolly, they look to want to fight. And I don't really look at Rolly as a champion. That should have been Israel or Ismael Barroso, the same
Mm-hmm.
guy who just knocked out in one round
Shout out.
Davis. And
Shout out.
on O'Hara Davis, bro, shame on you
I
because
know.
boy put
Oh my.
to
Yep.
become a WBA champion, whether it's the regular belt, because Rolly somehow is super champion, and
Uh,
got knocked out in
he
one.
was talking his shit before the fight too, bro. He was talking to. She's like, nobody beats this one. I'm like, damn, bro. If only you didn't say that, it wouldn't to look this bad. You know, like
One round, bro.
in one round, dude. He was talking so much, bro. I'm like, damn. Like that's don't make this a highlight reel, man. You just put yourself out there on a highlight reel and with your own words on it, and it's just another AB moment. You know,
Bro,
just
and,
talking
and,
his
and
shit,
it
dude.
sucks because O'Hara Davis, if you know O'Hara Davis's career, he had been with Eddie Hearn and
Yeah.
he was doing good and he talked his piece. You know, he was talking
Mm-hmm.
shit to Floyd Mayweather, like, I beat you. You know, you can fight about, I beat you.
Yeah,
And all
yeah.
his piece. And, you know, he has there's some political issue that he took with the newspaper company called The Sun about some type of like stadium situations where a lot of people died and he was blaming them. And then so he gets kind of like blacklisted, gets beat by Josh Taylor, kind of quits. You know, Josh Taylor at the time was the no Tarzan Tornado, and he was beating
Mm-hmm.
all these amazing fighters. And they dropped O'Hara Davis, so he had to work his way all around and beating, you know, these UK level fighters. And he finally gets a break, gets signed by Golden Boy, a top tier promotional company. If you watch
Mm-hmm.
a Fight Hype interview, he goes, you know, this is Sean Seitel with Fight Hype, and he goes, Fight Hype? It's like, man, I made it to the big leagues. You know, he's happy, bro. He's like, dude, I finally got a promoter that backs me. I'm with Golden Boy. I'm here fighting in the States. He's talking all his pieces. He's talking all his shit. Opportunity to become a champion, and he gets knocked out in one round, bro.
Dude, I know. It sucks. I've been following him. I mean, I unfollowed him at some point, but I remember following him at like on accident, to be honest. But I remember it was like in 2014, 2015, bro. I remember just hearing about this dude. I'm like, damn, this guy looks good. He's kind of weirdly proportioned, but with his abs and shit, kind of look weird. But no, I thought he was a good fighter. And I hear about him losing to Josh Taylor, and I'm like, damn man, I guess he's not one of them guys, So,
Yeah.
dude, and it's always them Golden Boy cards, bro. It's always Golden Boy with these upsets,
Yeah,
and
yeah, I agree, man. And usually Golden Boy, they don't really have upsets. Their
I
house
know.
fighter always wins for the
Hmm.
majority. They have good matchmakers, even though they no longer have Roberto Diaz. I think he's with Matchroom. They know how to build their stars. Conversely, Eddie Hearn is the one that always has the upsets, and that's where you usually want to bet money on, like, because his favorite fighter always gets beat by Mexicans, right? Mauricio Lara, fucking Felix Jose Jr. comes out and knocks out the diva Gary Coley and company. But Golden Boy usually, they usually have mismatches. Talking about another competitive fight, there's rumors that Joseph Jojo Diaz is going to fight Kid Austin. What do you think about that, bro?
I like the fight. Uh, Depending on how focused JoJo is. Um, if we get, something like a more motivated JoJo, he gives him problems. But I really think highly of Kid Austin, bro. I think uh, I don't like how I think Kid Austin is strong, but I think he gives me so many Sean Porter vibes,
Yeah,
and he's kind of like really like he's like big. He got a big upper body, like, and it kind of scares me because I'm like, damn, like I wonder if you can like box, and run like on the run, like I wonder if your legs get tired because this dude looks massive, bro, and he looks strong, but he boxes like he's not. He got like a good lower like a foundation and no, he throws it with bad intentions. So I definitely like him, bro, especially his explosion. I like everything about him, and that's what makes him a threat. Just like how Porter was always some kind of gives everyone some kind of a hard time.
yeah.
To anybody in his own division, I think Kid Austin can do the same.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point, bro. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, Kid
What?
Austin does. He's a very athletic and aggressive fighter that lunges in a lot, like Sean Porter.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually a really, really good comparison. And yeah, man, to your point, I know
Splitting
kind of
images.
like in with the new, out with the old. Joseph Diaz has never been knocked down.
Mm.
To be honest with you, I don't ever think he's been knocked down. Do you
Really? No,
think
I
Kid
think he has.
Austin can do those two things on JoJo?
I think he could knock him down, and I could have sworn I seen him get knocked down by Gary. No, didn't Gary knock him down?
Gary Russell? Nah, I don't think
No.
so. He
Hmm.
just outboxed them and pieced them apart, bro. But I mean, he didn't knock him down.
Okay. Yeah, I think he can. He has the right amount of power to actually, tip him over. But JoJo got a strong foundation. I think he just allows these shots to get in. I think I can see a stoppage though if he doesn't fall to the ground.
He's a
Um,
small 135, huh? JoJo, he's like chubby, huh?
yeah, he's a chubby dude, bro. So that's what I'm saying, man. Like last time I seen him chubby and flabby, I don't know how focused he was, and he lost to like a mediocre fighter, didn't he?
I
I forget who he lost to,
don't
but
know. It was a mediocre fighter, but I know that he's been more or less looking mediocre.
hmm
But I think he's only lost to Gary Russell Jr., Devin Haney. I know this last fight he fought like Ricardo Nunez or something like that in the Grand Prix. He was supposed to be on the undercard of Virgil Ortiz versus Stanionis, but
hmm
yeah, man, I think he only has two or three losses, bro.
yeah,
Oh, he lost to Mercito Hesta and William Zepeda as well, bro.
yeah, maybe
But even
a
then,
knockdown, bro.
Zepeda threw over 1,500 punches, and Zepeda is a knockout artist, bro. And
Yeah,
he can drop JoJo. And Mercito Hesta, man, I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. I thought JoJo won that fucking fight, but you know, I could be wrong, but I thought JoJo won that fight.
hmm
Volume alone, I know Mercita Hesta threw more punches, but he didn't really have substance, and JoJo kind of walked him down. But bro, the
but
judge had it like hella wide in favor of Mercito.
yeah,
Like, nah, this dude won 8 rounds to two, and I was like,
but,
I'm not tripping.
Mercito, Mercito is one of those Filipinos that just stay in shape, bro. Like Filipinos eat good, in and out of camp. Like like healthy, you
Yeah,
know. and that's like it's like part of their like some of the things that they eat, bro. It's like actually like a diet food, you know, and that's what they eat on the regular basis. Like then they have, you know, they got like strict regimens too, and you know, so Mauricio Gesto is one of those dudes that's gonna give a lot of people a hard time if you're not focused, and that's
Yeah,
what you know, kind of seeing. But
yeah, man. Joseph Diaz, bro. I'm not gonna be on. I'm not gonna be honest with you.
don't do it,
Well,
bro.
honestly, bro,
Lie to me.
I've been very unimpressed with his career. I
Who,
was
Jojo?
very I was hoping when when JoJo was coming up on the scene at 126, I was hoping he looked great, bro, and I
Mm,
was hoping that he would be that next quote unquote big star for Golden Boy, like
mm,
5 years ago, and I thought that he was going to beat Gary Russell. And in that fight, I realized that JoJo wasn't the guy. Not because
mm,
how he lost, but in terms of intelligence. I knew JoJo had dog in him,
mm.
but I knew that his IQ wasn't there, his punch placement. He just became this, high guard, walk forward, and that's how Gary Russell was able to piece him apart. When JoJo uses his jab, when JoJo digs to his body, especially at 126, I was like, man, that's when he was having success against Gary Russell. And then I don't know what happened along the way. I know he's talked about like partying and drinking and falling into depression.
Mm,
That's probably why he colors his hair the colors that he does, like a payaso. But
mm,
you know, I don't know what went wrong with JoJo. And he gave a good account of himself with Devin Haney. And I was like, bro, go back down to 130, bro. These aren't your fucking weight classes. Like, I'm still thinking to this day, you and Oscar Valdez would be one great of a fight. But what the fuck are you doing at 135? Like, this is not your weight class.
mm,
You saw it with Camaron Zepeda. Obviously, Zepeda looks to be really good. It's just going to be very interesting how good Oscar can promote him, knowing that he's just a Spanish speaker. But at the end of the day, like people always vouch for valiant efforts and great fighters. That's never been the problem with Barrera and Eric Morales. So can Oscar De La Hoya turn Zepeda, El Camarón, into uh, a known seafood dish here in the United States, especially in California? So we'll see, bro. But yeah, I've been very unimpressed with Jojo Diaz into his whole career, man. I expected kind of like the moon and the stars for this dude,
mm,
and he's kind of let me down a few times. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. Even like going back, if Jojo was disciplined, let's say he hired like an Alex Ariza or a Memo Heredia, and they were able to get him down to 130 and 126. Imagine a fight with Oscar Valdez. Imagine Jojo
mm,
Diaz versus Ruben Villa at 126.
mm.
Jojo Diaz versus Robeisy Ramirez. Like, that's where Jojo can make noise and rejuvenate his career. But I don't know, bro. I don't know what's going in the head of Jojo Diaz. I know he's been going through a lot of shit, sending like nudes and dick pics to like underage chicks on IG. All this
But
shit, yeah, all these things, take a big account into his life, into his, mental state of mind, especially when information gets out there and he's being sued and all these things are going. I can
bro,
only imagine it's stressful, but I'm like, bro, get off that shit.
I remember him.
Stick to boxing. And
Yeah,
yeah, brother, it's been I wish the best for him, but maybe he don't got it in him, bro. Maybe to your point, Kid Austin, hurts him and he beats him up like Sean Porter beat one of my favorite fighters, Mauricio Herrera.
mm,
Wait, did he beat Mauricio Herrera? No, I think that was Virgil Ortiz. I'm
yeah.
thinking Sean Porter when he knocked out Paulie Malignaggi, kind of like blitzed him and beat a credible opponent. Let me read a couple messages from Warp Speed. He goes, Kid Austin Schofield has improved significantly since I've seen him years ago on Thompson Boxing. He's powerful now and makes far less mistakes. Jojo Diaz is in trouble. Warp Speed goes lost, quote unquote, lost to Hesta. Warp Speed, I'm gonna be dishonest with you, bro. The homie Ricky. Yeah, man. Sometimes I just be speaking nonsense and I be saying the wrong words and phrases all this time.
Yeah.
What do you expect out of 2024? If there was 3 fights in the horizon or this year that you would like to see,
Hold on.
name them.
3 fights. Any division.
Any division.
Can it be like fantasy or can it be like realistic
I did
fights?
not equivocate. I was very clear and precise. Three fights that you want to see. I don't care if it's misfit boxing, fantasy matchups. What are the 3 fights for you that save boxing in 2024?
uh, Canelo Benavidez.
Okay.
That's probably my number one. Uh, Bivol Beterbiev.
That's 2.
Um, let's see, my last one. I want to see. God, man, I want more options, man, but I can only pick one more. Um,
Okay, give me 5 fucking fights. You're on your 3rd one.
okay, okay. I want to see Inoue versus Navarrete. Um,
Interesting. All right.
I want to see that.
But you're getting Luis Neri, though. Luis Neri
Oh, that's
versus,
right. That's a good one too. Damn it.
that's like in around May.
Yeah, that's a good one too. I like it.
Naoya versus Luis Neri.
Let's see. I want obviously Tank versus Devin.
Tank versus Devin. That's 4.
I want Ennis versus Crawford.
Ennis versus Crawford. That's 5. Honestly, that's a pretty good fucking list. I'm a little skeptical with Naoya and Navarrete. Navarrete being at
Well,
130 and Naoya at 122.
I didn't know he was gonna fight Nettie though.
Oh,
So.
okay, for sure. I will say this. Supposedly in February, Tyson Fury is fighting Alexander Usyk.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe it. So that's going to be
What?
my number 1. I mean, look, Bovada has the odds. Supposedly, what's his name? Tyson Fury is fighting Alexander Usyk on February 17th at 2 p.m.
That's in a month.
Right? Supposedly. And, they have Alexander Usyk as the underdog slightly, plus 105, and Tyson Fury minus 135. So the odds are really close. But I have to see it to believe it. I don't believe it right now. I don't believe in Tyson Fury. After looking like shit was his Francis Ngannou, I don't believe he wants to fight Alexander Usyk. He looked fat. He looked out of shape. His timing was wrong. He was losing his balance. His punch selection was wrong. His grappling skills, bro. Francis Ngannou was like, man, get the fuck out of here. Stiff arm here, pivot here, bro. Like, you would think Francis Ngannou was a WBC champ knocking out Deontay Wilder's, and Tyson Fury looked like a fucking novice. So that would be my number 1 fight of 2024. Post Showtime, post HBO. Look, man, these networks are telling us that these boxing promoters and the sport of boxing, they don't know what the fuck, it's a dying sport. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. These promoters and these things. That's why the biggest networks for the past 40 years abandoned ship. They're like, we're letting you sink, boxing. We don't fuck with you. Right? So post Showtime and HBO, where you have playmakers like Peacock and Amazon maybe being the new distributing force and DAZN, Tyson Fury versus Usyk is my number 1 fight. My number 2 fight to save boxing, Jermell Charlo versus Tim Tszyu. I don't think that fight is going to happen because supposedly Jermell Charlo beat his woman and is on recording saying, man, she really called the cops on me like a civilian. What a fucking goofball, bro. What an idiot. So I don't think we're going to get Jermell Charlo versus Tim Tszyu. But that would be one of my second fights that I would like to see. If I can't get Tim Tszyu versus Jermell Charlo, fuck Erickson Lubin, Tim Tszyu. I am not trying to see Erickson Lubin. He's got to run it back with Jesus Ramos because Jesus Ramos from Arizona beat that motherfucker. Like, what's his name? Like Rayo Valenzuela beat Colbert. The Mexican does not need to knock out the black fighter to show that he is superior. Jesus Ramos beat Erickson Lubin, and that fight wasn't even fucking close. All right. So I would like to see Tim Tszyu versus Bud Crawford at 154. I would like to see it. I doubt that it happens.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm gonna be realistic. Number 1, Usyk versus Tyson Fury. That'd be my number 1 fight that would save boxing in 2024. Supposedly it's happening February 17th. Second, like it was your number 1, David Benavidez versus Canelo Alvarez. If those 2 fights can happen, that would be great. That would be great. To your
Yep.
point, Artur Beterbiev and Bivol, if that can happen around July, that would be a great, not in the sense that it'll popularize the sport of boxing, but it's a fight that needs to happen at that weight class at 175 because that the diehards need that fight,
Mhm.
right? We need to see it. Number 4, I need to see Zanibek fight Carlos Adames. I need them to strip Jamal Charlo and make Carlos Adames the champion. And I need to see him versus Zanibek unify at middleweight. The
You know, he
middleweight
turned down.
needs to be popping, bro. It needs to be exciting again. That's
Yeah,
a big
160.
time
Yeah,
division. That's a division that needs a
really
fucking
dim.
recognition.
It's really
For,
dim right now.
say again?
It's really a dim division.
Yeah,
So
it's dim, bro. And Zanibek has 2 of the belts. That fight needs to happen. So that'll be my 4th fight. You got to popularize that shit. And my 5th and final fight, all right? It might be controversial. If we can't get Bud Crawford versus Tim Tszyu, right?
mhm.
Bud Crawford versus Boots Ennis.
Yep.
That's a fight right now. 5 fights that I would like to see in 2024 happen.
Not Tank Devin?
Nah.
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 Nah. Why is that? You know the outcome, or is just
Because Tank Amir Walid, whatever his fucking name is,
mhm.
he's gonna put some stipulation. Nah, I can't fight Devin at 140. He can't rehydrate up to 159 pounds. The reason why that information came out when he fought Regis Prograis that he rehydrated to 159 pounds. So guys like Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis on the negotiation tables, they go like, let's put a rehydration clause on them. That's the reason why that information was leaked. So fights like that don't get made. I don't like Tank Davis, bro. I don't like him, bro. Let me tell you this, bro. If I was drunk, right, and if I was operating a vehicle and I ran over a pregnant woman and I ran away and it was a hit and run, I'm in jail right now, bro.
Mhm.
For a really long time. My whole life is not more or less ruined.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But because Tank Davis is rich and he is who he is, they're telling him, hey, bro, change your name. Become a Muslim so they can know that you're not a street dude, that you're a religious man trying to change your path.
Damn.
Bro, this is a fucking front. This is a fake shit.
You think so?
It's a front just so he won't do hard time. That's exactly what that is. Because if any civilian did what he did, hit and run on a pregnant woman after leaving a bar or whatever the case may be at a club, we're doing 5 to 10 years. Look at Henry Ruggs. He was intoxicated, right? And in Las Vegas, he was going, I don't know, north of 150 miles per hour, crashed into a white woman and she died, right? He got 10 years. But somehow Tank Davis doesn't get not even 1 year in jail, bro.
He didn't kill anyone though, too. So
Say again?
he didn't kill anyone either, though. But yeah,
That's true. That's true. He didn't. But that's probably a misdemeanor or a hit and run. Probably more priors to it.
yeah.
Again, because he has that money, he can pay top tier lawyers.
But
He can play the game. He can change his name, X, Y, and Z. So that's a fight, to your point, that would be able to save boxing. Devin Haney versus Tank Davis, but it's not going to come with great stipulations. Look at the stipulations that he had to impose on quote unquote a TikTok boxer and Ryan Garcia. Meet me at 136. You can't rehydrate past a certain weight class. I have to put a spy in your camp. Oh, I know that you're not eating. You didn't even have breakfast today. Oh, I know you have rib. He needed all that to beat Ryan Garcia. And then he was like, man, I touched that chin. Man, it's soft.
I hate that. I hate that.
All that.
Bro, I hate that.
A TikTok boxer.
Bro, I hate that boo boo fucking attitude that he had towards Ryan, bro. Like, bro, that's like some odd man. Like, that's annoying little kid shit, bro. Like you can hurt him. Huh?
No, and that's why I don't want to see that fight, because I have respect for Devin Haney. I feel like he's taking on tough fights that he can lose. You know what I'm saying? And Tank
I
Davis is not
yeah.
doing that. Like when he fought Mario Barrios, we didn't come out to this information, but Mario Barrios said, yeah, they put a rehydration class on me as well. He had Leo Santa Cruz, after 2 years of inactivity, move up 2 weight classes to fight him at 135. Then he
Hmm.
stepped him with a beautiful uppercut. Luis Garcia moved him up from 130 champion to 135. Luis Garcia just got beat by, not Roger Gutierrez, but Golden Boy used to have I think he's from the Bay Area, Lamar Roach Jr. So
Hmm.
again, bro, Tank ain't that legacy fighter. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And Devin is. And I don't want Devin to having to bend over backwards and,
exactly.
just put another notch on that dude's belt, because in order to fight Tank, you got to do all these things. You have to have a camera. I need to see what food you're eating. Are
Hmm.
you eating snack products? Because I need some too. Bro, Tank,
Yeah,
man, F that dude, bro.
yeah. I think with Devin, bro, like I hate how Devin has like steeped his like his character for these guys. You know, like it just like I feel like whenever he's like talking to like Ryan and Tank, bro, like they're like immature little boys, bro. You know, and it's like, you know, like they're not professional whatsoever, bro. Like so like Devin needs to like stick to his path, and have fucking Tank go to him, bro. Like honestly, uh, Devin's doing all the right things. I do want to see that fight though, just because Tank Tank kind of Tank kind of like only has 3 fights left. You know, like
Yeah.
I want that fight now, up until he retires, and then it's like, all right, bro, like or he loses, then I'm like, all right, forget about you, bro. Like you fucked up. You know, so I'm not like I'm more on Devin's side as far as that. You know, I think Devin would man, that's a 50-50 fight. Some days I think gets knocked out. Some days I think he beats him. You know, so that's why I want to see that fight. And I don't want, and I know Teal's right there, like looking at them, but I will take anything Teal gives me. I just can't like trust him. He lost my trust a little bit.
That's a great fight between Teofimo and Devin Haney if they were to get it on, bro. That could be a
Right.
fight that would save boxing. Let me ask you a couple of
He's
questions.
also capable of getting wiped out by any of these guys. Like I wouldn't be surprised if
Who?
Tio, bro, like he
You
just I
think
don't
so?
know. He lost my trust, bro. I know what you're saying, but like he lost my trust like that. I don't know who he is as a fighter. You know, like he's good. Some days he's like, why couldn't he do that against Sandor Martin? You know?
Well, because Sandor Martin is very elusive, very slick. You gotta understand, bro. Sandor Martin, he made Mikey Garcia look like shit. And I don't care if Mikey Garcia is chubby or this. You can not It's very hard to make Mikey Garcia look like shit, especially if you don't have, the arm length, the size advantage, the strength and the prime of an Errol Spence. For Sandor Martin to be able to be slick and not get caught with the 1-2, that's pretty impressive, bro. And then if you weren't a believer and you're like, Mikey's not training anymore, he did really good against Teofimo Lopez, bro. You gotta put some respect on Sandor Martin, bro. That boy's got some skills. He's sweet, bro.
Yeah. It's just yeah, it's all I feel like he struggles against I was thinking about this a couple days ago. He struggles against guys with hand speed, you know, and Cambosa's got that hand speed. I guess you can say Sandor had hand speed. Did he? I don't know. I think he just had a good footwork. Um, he struggles with hand speed, bro, and I think Devin just has all that. I think he wipes him out, and it's like I don't want a fight where he gets wiped out. I want a close fight, you know.
So there's rumors to your point.
Mm,
There's rumors that Sandor Martin is Devin Haney's mandatory for the WBC belt.
oof,
What do you think
oof.
happens in that fight?
I think I think it'll be a great fight for Devin. I think it'll showcase how much better he is than Tio, you know, and uh, I don't know if he hurts him, but I need to rewatch. I actually need to. I didn't complete the full fight with him and Regis, so I kind of don't have like a full observation of a 140 Devin, but people telling me that he looks, powerful, not like turn your power off. I'm not like turn you off power, but he got enough to keep you honest as a 140 pounder. But
Yeah,
so
I will tell you
yeah,
this: Sandor Martin gives Devin Haney a tougher fight than Rigas did.
I see it because
You know?
he got the style.
Yeah, I'm not saying Sandor Martin beats Devin. No, it'll be like one of those fights that we saw with Edwin De Los Santos and Shakur Stevenson. Very strategic, methodical. I think Devin being a little faster and much more active in terms of volume because Sandor he circles out a lot.
Yeah.
You know, he circles out a lot, wastes a lot of time. But when he does throw his hands, he's really good. He's got a good IQ. He's got good punch placement. But he's one of those guys, kind of like Mauricio Herrera when he beat Danny Garcia in Puerto Rico and he beat Jose Benavides. They make fights ugly, like unbearable and unwatchable. So it's very hard to root for a guy like Sandor Martin because you know he's not going to be a household name and he's not going to sell tickets, you know? It's one of those things, you know? So he'll give Devin a really good little fight. But you know, I think Devin will win that decision. Let me ask you this, bro. Hey, Mike, check. You hear me, brother?
Yeah, I was just making some.
Oh no, you're good, brother. I just wanted to make sure, just because my screen was kind of going to sleep. My brother, he was talking about actually both my brothers. They said something that. Did you hear about Misfit Boxing being canceled? I guess like there's this thing called Professional Boxing Association, the PBA. They said that it's losing and degrading the sport of boxing, and those fighters aren't allowed to box, and they like strip the promoter or the boxing manager promoter Cal Sutherland's license to participate.
Wow,
Have you
that's
heard of
good.
it?
Yeah, no, I haven't heard about it.
Let me hear this. Misfit Boxing. Watch. Let me see. So on the Daily Mail or MMA Weekly, Misfit Boxing gets licenses suspended in the interest of boxer safety
I like
by
it.
Professional Boxing Association. Let me pull that up. I was trying to find it. Now, for my brother likes to talk about it. Misfit Boxing. He likes to talk about it. He likes Misfit Boxing. He pays for these fucking fights and all this shit. I'm like, bro, you really gonna pay to watch Dean the Great versus like, oh yeah, dude, he's so great, dude. You know, they're fucking. He goes on some stupid hour, bro. Stop it. You know,
Great.
it's ridiculous. But he likes it. He's very entertained, and he's like, oh yeah, dude, KSI and all these things.
I'm not big on it. Doesn't have my attention at all. But
has its licenses suspended in the interest of Boxers Boxing Association. So I just wiped down my computer, so my fingers are like, oh no, rainbow wheel. So the promotion, which was launched on June 2021 and had previously showcased events such names as Tommy Fury, Elle Brook, and Logan Paul, and founder KSI, the association announced on Friday, that it had decided to suspend the promotion's license in the interest of boxer safety. A statement reads as follows: due to clear violations of the PBA rules and regulation, bringing boxing into disrepute in the interest of boxer safety, Misfit Boxing Promoters' license have been suspended and disciplinary hearings will follow for such license holders.
Yeah, bro, I think it's funny how they allow them to host all these events. Yeah. And it's like, bro, you guys just been making money off these guys and just not disciplining them, So I think it's kind of weird how they're doing it, but I mean, I don't like it. I'm not like not even close to sad, honestly. Like I'm like I don't care, like I never cared for them, so it's like I'm not. It's like boo-hoo, more eyes go to the real sport of boxing, like it's all good. Always, been a fan of real boxing. I don't think I've watched a full fight of a Misfit fight, honestly.
Well, see, then that becomes the point of conversation. What is real boxing? You don't need to go to college. You don't really need to, be an Olympian. You don't need to have amateur experience. Anybody can sign up and get your boxing license and be registered under USA Boxing as long as you pay like a $40-$80 fee, and then you become a boxer. What weight
Hmm.
class do you want to compete, and put your intangibles, and you're already in the system. So what does what does it mean to become a boxer?
I think it
You know,
pretty
and the
much.
way I look at it is these people are hustlers. They have a following. They bring their following from Instagram or YouTube or OnlyFans, right? Because there's a lot of girls like Elle Brooke and company that are OnlyFans models or chess players, and they, petition to get their license. They hire good competent trainers because they have a little bit of money to spend on good trainers, right? And boom,
I
they're
think.
pushing it out. So
I
what's
think
that
you're.
difference from guys like Julio Cesar Chavez that are coked out of their mind, saying that the cartel is on them, and they still fight the likes of Danny Jacobs and they quit
Mhm.
on the stool? So what? Why do you suspend them and not suspend guys like Jose Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. when the fight was scheduled in Las Vegas and they move it to Arizona, and he still quits and people throw
Mhm.
bottles at him? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
what does
I
it
got.
really mean?
Yeah, no, I think. So I think most of these people in misfit boxing, weren't doing it for a long time. I think if they were to do it for a long time, then they would be ranked in USA Boxing, and they got years of experience, meaning their body can take the punishment or is actually in shape to take the punishment. It's like it takes time for your body to develop the actual cardio and the actual like to actually punch resistance, because some people just haven't gotten punched enough in the face, and you see it with their reaction. They don't look like they've been boxing for a long time, most of them at least. And I think it's not safe. I think you need some years under you before you even think about going inside a ring with the dude that has been doing it for most of his life. And I think the more if you expect to become the best, you're gonna fight a dude that's been doing it all of his life. And his body, the way it's he molded his body to become what it is today. You only had with rather than the misfit fighter who's actually who looks good on the outside, but you never know on the inside. It's like, fuck, bro, your heart can't really take this shit. Like they, most of them look horrible because their fucking cardio's garbage. It takes years, and I think some of them have years in their under their belt. But now, guess what? There's an element where you have to learn IQ now. Your body's in shape, yeah, but now you don't have the IQ. Now you have to focus on IQ, and that's another layer of years of experience that you need. Um, and that's what's a combination of danger right there. You like it's always dangerous for anybody to get hit repeatedly, regardless of what level you're at. So imagine not having experience sparring, and now you're just like you did spar at a certain level, but you want to become the best, right? I mean, you're going up against dudes that that have been sparring all their lives. There's dudes like Espinoza, but he's actually that dude that beat fucking Ramirez. But in
Yeah.
reality, he's actually in fucking immaculate shape. He's been doing it for a long time as well. He might have came up from the middle class out there from an interview I seen him, but he's been doing it for all of his life, and he's been getting um conditioned his body and molded his body to what it is today, and knows how to take punches to a certain extent. um, and he showed heart. So I think um, these misfit fighters will get filtered out if they decide to go in the real boxing game. They'll get filtered out, and only some of them will become something. Like I'm telling you, it's like you can. I'm focused on getting in shape right now, but then guess what? I would have to like get my fucking footwork movement and my pivots right, and that takes another layer of months to do. And I need months under the lights. What if I get nervous? So you can't, they're not reliable. You need a reliable guy, and if you're to put under the lights, as a promoter, you need to know that he's not gonna shake up. You need to know that he's not gonna turn into I know Shadeja Green's a real fighter, but it looked like she kind of got scared under the lights. So stuff like that. It's like these misfit fighters. What if what if they have an emotional breakdown too? Like you
All
got
right,
money on.
hold on. All right,
Yeah,
so
I'm going off.
check this out. No, you're bringing up some points, but check this out. Deontay Wilder never learned any of those pivots or footwork, and he became a champion. Francis Ngannou dropped Tyson Fury, the face of the heavyweight division, and that was his first professional boxing match. And he went 10 or 12 rounds with Tyson
But he
Fury.
was under the lights before. You know?
He's been into combat sports, right? But this is the thing what makes boxing, in the sense, wholesome and very interesting is what if you, Drew, had over 250 street fights? We just saw this dude named Saul Sanchez, aka the Troublemaker. His couple of his family members have been locked up, and he said he had over like 150 street fights, and he just beat Jason Maloney yesterday. You see what I'm saying? So you have to understand these misfits. In terms of their matchmaking, the majority of their time, they're fighting other OnlyFans people. They're building their own little brand, their own little stable of fighters. Dean the Great isn't fighting professional fighters. He's fighting other YouTubers that they're beefing over some chick, Cassandra, because they both made a song, a love song, and they're Romeo versus Don Omar.
I think
so. That's who they're fighting, you know.
Yeah.
But in some interesting cases, you do have a Logan Paul fight, KSI fight Tyson Fury's younger brother, Tommy Fury. And guess what? A lot of people thought he beat Tommy Fury.
How many of these misfit fighters?
There are times like Jake Paul knocks out MMA superstars that have been under the lights, and he knocks these legends out. Now, you can say there's a big difference in the age group, but it goes back to what we were talking about. Why would you strip misfit boxings knowing they're not pushing a false product? They're letting you know we're misfit. We're people that don't fit the mold, your traditional sense of what you're speaking of. But even then, you know it's a reputable brand, because if I'm telling you this is my hamburger from McDonald's and I'm poisoning you, and you decide to still eat this poisoned burger, that's on
illegal.
Your fault. It's like cigarettes. You know you're not supposed to, smoke a lot of them, but people still buy them. X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z. So I think it's a little I think very bad for the sport of boxing to do this, because celebrity boxing has always been a thing. MTV.
But if they're doing,
keep going. You good?
If they're misfit fighters though, then why don't they apply to be a real fucking fighter then?
Well, who says that they're trying to be? This is why this is their version of getting experience, but they found a way where they can not just host amateur boxing fights, but also put that money into their pockets. You see,
I think it messes with the business too.
"Quote unquote" amateur experience, but still have their fans attend as the crowd and get paid for it. They're not gonna fight for free, and they're like, I'm not gonna put on headgear. I'll just train with headgear, look like shit, and make some money while I beat my dad or my dad kicks my ass. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's one dude that fought his father in there. It's pretty funny, and the father fucked him up.
Bro, I think you put their whatever weight class they're in, and you put them in actual sanctions. They get weaved out. They'll get filtered out, and then there won't.
Oh, for sure. One of those guys can't beat Saul Sanchez. Of course not. No way. Warp Speed goes, it's not canceled, but they didn't sanction them. Misfits will still operate using other sanctions. Warp Speed also goes, it's stupid. Boxing has little integrity and doesn't need misfits to look even bad. Misfits has an event next week. Let's watch. I will be reporting this issue along with other interesting topics on my next invite. Well, you should have been on today, because you're working on your carburetor in my Wildcat. We're all cruising. Boxing has no integrity. They have sanctioned men to fight women. Whoa. How about transgender boxing?
Oh yeah, we talked about that when I was with them last time. Now it makes sense. Now I see why they.
All that you can say is that boxing doesn't need misfits to even look more bad. I guess I read that already. And ARR09 says, Sanchez won. Yeah, man. I thought Sanchez beat Jason Maloney, but it just goes to say that, you got to eat that clenbuterol steak and knock these dudes out, because you're not going to get a fair shake. But I'll say this. Jason Maloney is the champion. And between Saul Sanchez and Jason Maloney, I thought Saul Sanchez was the more superior fighter. But it was a very close margin, kind of like we talked about in the beginning of the show. I know this live's been going on longer than expected, for over 3 hours. But no fighter really separated, right? Like a judge had it a draw. reasonable. Another fight, the other two judges had it 8-4. Respectfully, it could have gone either way because that was the margin of error. It was a game of inches or a game of punches that, you can go either way. Had one dude really knocked the other dude down or knocked them out, you would have seen that separation. Jason Maloney being the champion, I thought he defended his belt well. Saul Sanchez being the contender, I thought he contended extremely well. I thought he won, but what are you going to say, Drew?
Fucking Packers beating the Cowboys right now.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Let me see. NFL scores. Let me see. 7-0. What?
Yeah. Crazy.
Man, what
Crazy.
the fuck, bro? Cowboys about to fuck up my parlay, dude. I got like $10 to turn it to 300. Check this out. I have
that means we'll play them. Niners play them next.
I had Michigan beat Washington. I had the Houston Texans beat the Cleveland Browns. Chiefs beating the Dolphins. The next 4 games that I need is Buffalo Bills to beat the Steelers, which I'm pretty sure it's going to happen, but with the element of the snow, you never know. Dallas Cowboys to beat the Packers, Eagles to beat the Buccaneers, and the Detroit Lions to beat the Rams. And you're telling me right now that the Green Bay Packers are winning 7-0 over the Dallas fucking Cowboys.
And they just punted.
Jones, who we talked about 2 hours ago, I said if he pops off, they have a chance. And the motherfucker has 7 carries for 25 yards and a touchdown.
God damn. But hey, they bro, the Cowboys, bro, they're shit in the bed, man. They're shit in the fucking bed. Hey,
listen, bro, I've
what the fuck?
Fine, dude. I just want to win a bet, bro. I'm off, bro. I've been wanting to get some back on my flow state and get some confidence, bro. My shit has shrunk, dude.
Dude, tell me about it.
Shit,
I retired.
Bro.
I retired from fucking betting, bro.
Man.
Just bad luck, man.
On a weekly basis, like $100, man.
Damn.
I'm putting little $10 here, $10. I'm fucking scared, dude.
That should be humbling you, huh?
Fucking turtleneck over here, dude.
Huh?
Turtleneck me, bro. I'm like, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Out, bro. I feel like, damn, bro. Man, it's fucking annoying. Yo, on that note, Drew, I'm gonna let you guys watch the game. Thank you guys for tuning in on this Sunday and just shooting the shit with me, bro. It's always nice to help me get through the day. Drew, thank you.
You working?
Bro? Yeah, yes, sir.
For
I
sure.
got like another hour here, but
Okay.
But yeah, man, I appreciate you guys for chatting and tuning in, man. Have a safe Sunday. Enjoy Sunday football. Eat some good food on me. Don't forget to use the homie Ricky 101 for the next GameStop 15% off Silent Hill 2 when it comes out. Hey, but on that note, guys, have a good weekend. Hopefully,
that was brilliant.
Hopefully, Warp Speed and Drew hop on the next podcast.
Hey, you've been thinking about that one for a while.
Yeah, man. Yes, sir.
All right, man.
On that note, man, have a blessed Sunday, Drew. Thank you for tuning in. Warp Speed, ARR09, Vince Vargas, Mr. Adam Hurley, the Mexican G. Let me see, Sports Archives, Adam Hurley. Thank y'all for tuning in, bro. On that note, stay safe. I'll see you on the next one.
Peace.
Peace.